Did you miss me? Hold on, are you? Where's... Oh, Discord was turned off. Now they can hear you.
Hello.
Hello. Fix Discord. I did! So, yeah, we were kind of bullshitting a little bit earlier. Did I fix the game audio? Not yet. I haven't even opened the game yet. I am, we're just bullshitting, and I'm in the middle of trying to pick a GIF. I don't know, this one's fun. Why am I so... What? What's wrong with me? What did I do this time? Did you finish your art? Did you get all 4 people done? I need to know. You did! I'm so proud of you. Yeah, actually send them to me. I want to see them all. Be crime, do gay?
Yeah.
Yay!
That'll be the title of the next time we do this.
Yes, because I'm coming out of... I'm running out of ideas, alright? I'm gonna be honest.
Why is it always my fault, Sanity?
Oh!
How do we know it's not your fault?
Earlier today, dude, mine and Ark's stream, he said it was Ark's fault. Everything was Ark's fault!
Yeah, how do we know everything isn't your fault, Sanity? You're always the one pointing fingers. You're always... Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ark, how do we know it's not Sanity's fault, huh? Again, Sanity's always the one pointing a finger. Sounds pretty sus. Yeah, exactly. Sanity's Sanity's always the one accusing people.
Y'all are acting like children again. Oh my god. Do I have to bring out the chicken nuggets again? Are y'all hangry? My god, they started arguing over the fact that Ark got his own chicken nuggets. They didn't want to share! And then... Serenity started poking people. I was like, don't make me pull this car over. Fun times. I'm so distracted too, and like I'm supposed to be sharing this stream around.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
Yeah.
Everybody keeps following me on Blue Sky, and I've made it a point to follow everybody back because
I'm being a little picky with mine because I want to be careful because in the beginning when I first made my Twitter account for my streaming, I followed everyone who followed me. So I'm kind of in the beginning there was darkness.
I'm being pseudo picky. I'm like, if it's a genuine VTuber,
yeah,
or an actual we don't have to be too critical though, because with anti-AI and limited amount of bots right now, I've only had to say no to a couple of people, and it was mostly because they hadn't posted anything yet. So I don't know who you are, bro. I need a little bit to go off of.
I'm wary of anyone who has 3D artist in their profile.
That's very fair. I don't think I've seen anybody like that so far, thankfully.
Yeah. I'm kind of weary of that, mostly because of the years on Twitter.
But I've been finding some really cool people though, in general, and people have been new folks have been popping in here, and they've been all really freaking awesome. So I'm not even mad. This is what social media is supposed to do for you.
Yeah, social media is supposed to bring people together. It's not supposed to fucking just cause everybody to go into a hate war.
It's supposed to. Like, I remember, man, I wish I had hindsight, bro. Hindsight is 50/50. And I wish I had more of it when I started, like, my cosplay journey when I was younger. Come here, controller. Because, like, if I knew back then what I know now, I would have tried harder. When it was all said and done, I almost hit 4K on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
My controller is not connecting. Hello. Bluetooth, hello. I might have to go back and, it says it's not connecting. I'm gonna have to finagle with it. But yeah, like, back then, I actually had reach. I could actually see my people, like, the people who followed me and people I followed, I could see their shit. Now, on Facebook, it's a bunch of, like, promoted, pages that I don't follow, and every other post is an ad.
Yeah.
And it's so disheartening because I might have to disconnect it and reconnect it because it's not wanting to be discovered. And it's so disheartening because, like, I grew a platform of 4,000 people, which, like, I know compared to, like, social media moguls and, like, influencers, that's a drop in the bucket. That's shit. But
that's still 4,000 people.
Right, that's 4,000 people. That's
shit.
a lot of fucking people to me, anyway.
Yeah.
And
I'd
it's
be
so
stoked if 4,000 people followed me on any of my accounts.
Dude, it's just so disheartening. I will post on there, and one or two people will engage with it.
Yeah.
And as shit as Twitter is right now, it is still my most engaging platform, despite being one of my smallest. You've hurt cats' feelings? Death, what have you done?
Look, Rose, I can't reverse time, alright, and bring you into this. I mean, I suppose we could at any point.
And technically, there's no law saying we can't.
Yeah.
But I'm about to fight my damn computer. Come on,
Yeah.
Find the damn Xbox controller. God damn. I've had to try like 3 different things. Try connecting your device again. Try connecting your device again. I'm gonna throw this controller. Maybe I shouldn't do that, but, like, I really want to.
We need to throne gift you a wired Xbox controller.
Oh my god, and then I also wouldn't have to fucking share batteries with Joe. Ugh.
Yeah.
Julie, I'm gonna need you to sit your ass down.
Yeah, in fact, do you have a throne page? I'm gonna suggest that.
I do have a throne. Please, fingers crossed. It found it. Please connect. Please don't do the thing again. Please don't say, try again. Please just connect. It's just saying connecting. Ah. It just says connecting. Come on.
I mean, I'm not technically buying people
No!
things, but I am suggesting that.
Try connecting your device again. Oh my god, why? Do I have a cord at all around here? Anything that I could just connect it to even momentarily? Just to get it to connect, please? Ark, you think I'd do that if I didn't, this is all I got! We gotta rumble. Please, just do the thing. Oh my god. Hold on, I'm gonna reset it. A me issue. Doesn't even have to be like brand name, bro. As long as it works and it doesn't need batteries. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna turn it off. plug it in, turn it on, see if that works. Ooh. Please work. Please work. Please. Please, I don't want to play Yakuza with the keyboard. I'm not supposed to. They don't want me to. They don't like it when you do that. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the sub. Oh, it is being a shit tonight. It'll find it. It'll pull it up. And it'll go to connect to it. It'll say connecting, connecting, connecting. And then it'll say, try connecting it again. Try connecting it again. I'm gonna cry. Oh, you're just staring at dolls. I'm sorry, Dad. You're just looking at dolls.
That's fine.
I
was trying to find that on Throne, but they didn't have a wired one. It was only a wireless.
I will show you my struggle. I will show you my struggle.
Okay.
Look at this shit. I'm gonna cry. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, and it's like, it's connected to the USB too. It rumbles and I hear it go doo-doo. But it's not showing up like it's connected. If I cancel it, I've tried it both ways. I've tried looking for it as in everything else. It will not find it in everything else. It malfunctioned. What?
Maybe it's the port. Take the USB and connect it to a different port.
Come here. Come here. Come here, child. Let's try different hole. Different hole. I haven't even started the game. I'm just trying to get it to connect.
Yeah, she's trying to get the controller to connect because you do not want to play Yakuza with keyboard and mouse.
Hello? Yeah. Yeah, it won't find it under... It'll only find it under Bluetooth. Just like standard Bluetooth. And only after I put it in discovery mode. Wait, why are we dressing up like a chicken? Oh, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna throw it. I'm just gonna throw it just a little bit across the room. It'll be fine. Oh! We're summoning the chicken gods to get the controller to work?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's new. I don't think
Is there any other controller in this place that you could use?
Oh yeah, I could go steal Joe's.
Steal Joe's.
Oh, alright, I'll be right back. Let me get it to stop doing that. I'll be right back.
Okay. I vote for being gay, doing crime, and stealing Joe's.
Going to do the thing.
Stealing Joe's? What did the Joes ever do to you? What did they ever do to you, Kat? The Joes are innocent, Kat. The Joes have not committed crimes against you.
I have the other one.
Yeah. Okay.
No!
Yeah, it is
Son
your
of a
connector.
beach!
It's your connector. It's your Bluetooth connector. You need a wired controller.
Hold on, my chair is on my everything. I also need like a thing to like control these wires.
Yeah.
Ugh. I wish to be gay, do crime. There they are.
Oh, did it get it or?
No, I'm just very happy for Frog Cat's lick emotes. It's all the babies. Oh my god, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's your Bluetooth connector. I'm serious.
I'm about to scream at it. I only have the one USB thing, and I don't think it's very good.
Yeah, no, it really isn't. Yeah, your Bluetooth connector is fucked up.
Something wrong with this bitch. It does this every once in a while. And it drives me fucking nuts. Yeah. Malfunctioned and it doesn't recognize it.
Yeah?
You don't say. You don't say. You sure? Wait a minute.
What?
It stopped flashing. It's not doing anything, but it stopped flashing.
Okay.
Nope.
No.
Motherfuck! Ah! That bitch got a diamond! At least she's lucky.
Yeah. Everybody else is more lucky than you, it would seem.
Dude. I don't even know how to play Yakuza without a controller.
Yeah. I guess it's time to learn.
We gonna learn today, chat! I wish it would just work.
Oh, this is gonna be an experience.
Oh, yeah, it is. What am I learning? Oh, we're learning how to play with a keyboard.
At least it's on easy mode.
Well, at least you let me pick easy mode. I guess we should go.
Okay,
Oh,
you should probably check the controls first.
Yeah.
Is the thing.
Alright.
And you should also switch the stream over to the game window, probably.
Oh, yeah. I can't see nothing. Well, I was waiting until we got everything working.
Yeah.
I don't think things are gonna be working.
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be fucking interesting.
Yeah.
Where the hell is... Everything got moved around? Now I'm like, where's my game? Oh, you know what? It would probably help if I was on the right fucking screen.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for the bits. God damn it. Oh, it's gonna be one of those days. I am frustrated because the controller doesn't want to connect to the computer.
Trying to see if I can find an Xbox controller on Throne.
Oh, you did?
Did what?
Cat said that
Oh,
they
okay.
suggested one.
Oh, okay. Let me refresh the page. Or wait, you have to prove it first, don't you?
Yeah, I can do that real quick, though. I got my phone here. What the...
Okay.
How the fuck... Like, I can't just, like... Oh, there we go. Okay. That is... Alright.
Alright, that's the... Okay. So... Okay. So it looks like your right click is your heavy attack, and your light click... the left click is your light attack. So... Left click is light, right click is heavy and heat attacks. Your Q is your grab, and E is dodge.
God, that's shit.
And your movement is WSD. Okay, so with WSD, WASD is your movement, and you grab and E. That's actually pretty intuitive. Actually,
I'm gonna have to get used to it.
Yeah.
It's the same one you do. Go away, YouTube. Just open the damn thing. Not YouTube, Yahoo.
Yeah.
Approve. You picked the purple one! That's the best color. That's the best color. Good choice.
There it is. Oh.
Alright, pause is F9. No, fuck that. Bro, purple is superior. M is map. F9 is pause. F9 also throws things at me.
Yeah.
Okay. Every time I need to pause, something's gonna smack me in the face. Also, tits still doesn't work. I don't know how to fix it. I think I'm gonna have to like uninstall and reinstall it. I don't know what the fuck its problem is.
Yeah.
Style action is F. Oh my god.
Camera reset P. You know what? Remember that one, because I bet it's gonna lock the camera behind you.
Alright.
And M is map. That's pretty simple.
And guard is up. That's awfully weird, but sure. Alright, we're gonna make an attempt.
Yeah?
Let's go find some dudes to beat up and practice on.
Yeah.
Okay, so, oh, this is backwards.
Oh.
Huh?
Oh no.
Huh?
Oh no.
Huh? Folks have been having issues with their titties? Okay.
Huh? The hell is that? I don't recall there being a statue there. Talk to the statue, Trix.
Oh my goodness, this is a statue.
Oh, here's a man-made statue. What's it doing in a place like this, though?
That's not a statue, bro.
Pretty amazing detail, too. Wonder what they make this stuff out of.
That's a whole ass man.
Yeah! Huh? Am I hearing voices now?
You can't just touch
Oh, God.
people.
The voices are back. Yeah, whatever. This statue, though, sure looks like life. Doesn't feel like plaster at all.
It's a man.
Feels like the warm touch of a man. I'm gonna caress his ball sack. I haven't felt one in so long. Oh, God!
I
what
goes.
the hell, man? You're alive? Oh, God! Pinocchio was a true story all along!
You can't just manhandle someone's balls, Majima.
Yeah. Hey now, buddy. That tickled. You're tickling my balls. Think of my act like a classy strip club. You can look, but keep your hands off the performer. Oh man, I thought this was Japan America we lived in. When was it illegal to tickle another man's balls?
He really is, though.
Performer? That's what I am, a street performer. I go by the name Toko Kichi.
Oh, that's a name. Godpillow King is talking to you.
Hey, God King. Yeah, I kind of collab a lot because I like hanging out with my friends.
Yay, we're friends! Friendship.
Friendship.
We got ad.
Oh no, ads. Fucking ads.
It's an ad attack. It's okay. It's okay. So yeah. Tickling another man's balls, huh?
Yeah. It's just how Majima lives.
Yeah, just fondling.
I mean, he just wants to tickle another man's balls. He wants to be free to do that.
You got a rock! It's worth more than rock candy. Not as good, though. Not as tasty.
Tell me somewhere you will find someone who will pay you $5 for a rock. I want to fucking know where that is.
Right, it's a weapon. It's a weapon. Yeah. But you didn't hear that from me.
Yeah, I mean, it can be used as a weapon.
Should we go back to pondering this man's orbs?
I mean, we can. Okay, I get the picture. You're really good. I thought you actually were a statue.
Yeah, people collect rocks.
Jesus, Majima, stop staring at his dick. But what are you doing this here?
Ow!
Oh, no, you know, this area is the Holy Land for buskers. Holy Land? The hell?
My poor titties are broken.
Heaven, not hell. The heavy foot traffic means we can... Huh?
Every time I pause and unpause, I'm gonna have something yeeted at my head.
The heavy foot traffic means we get a very steady audience, and the locals here love a good comedy bit, so they have a great eye for quality. It's my lucky spot. Luckily, no one's pushed me off the bridge yet.
Oh no!
Well, I guess you put it that way. The bridge does have its benefits, so you practice in your act. Yeah, that would be a fair description. Ultimately, I have to be a street performer who inspires little kids to big dreams by being a statue?
By having big balls?
Did you know that until the late 1950s it was believed that newborns as old as 6 to 9 months were incapable of feeling pain and that their crystal were just a reflex, so they just did surgeries on them with no anesthesia? That is my cursed fact of the day.
Oh my god!
Why did you think anyone needed to know that?
That's horrifying! Those poor little babies.
Yeah.
I can't wait till I have my other models so I can express emotions and stop looking like I'm some kind of like happy-go-lucky AI even when I hear horrifying facts.
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, no, that's not how that works, God King. Why would you do that?
Hey, Death, you want to hear a cursed joke I learned at McDonald's?
God, what is it?
What do you call a skinny girl with a yeast infection?
What?
A quarter pounder with cheese. You can all throw things at me now. It's okay. It's terrible. It's terrible.
A moment.
Death. What do you call a fat girl with a yeast infection?
Mm-hmm.
A double quarter pounder with cheese. They were horrible jokes, man. People I worked with were nasty. Jail. Okay, fine, we'll do both. Oh god, this is happening again. Where earlier Ark sent me to jail, and then Sanity put me in the jar, and it hurt his feelings. He was like, "Why does that one cancel me out?" And I was like, "Fine, I'll do both."
You deserve to be double punished.
I'm the trash man. I come out I throw trash all over the ring.
Yes, in the garbage can as well.
Good girl. You're giving me headbands. You give me conflicting messages here. You're making me think like I should talk about shitty jokes I learned at McDonald's more often.
Do not encourage her bad behavior.
I'm surprised you hadn't heard of those. You work there too. They were terrible. They were terrible. Oh god, now I have the desire to go Google more.
No. Back to Yakuza.
Oh no, it's fine. I see you.
Okay.
There's a guy who's got a dream worth dreaming. Hope he makes it come true. Maybe I'll come check back on him later and see how he's getting on.
I'm actually kind of impressed with like the pose he chose more than anything.
Yeah.
I'm so
Cancel
used to...
out that cursed fact. Did you know that the recognized beginning of human civilization is not actually a farm or pottery? It is a leg bone that shows signs of remodeling, which means that their tribe took care of them while they couldn't go out and hunt, and that is officially recognized as the start of human civilization.
Ah!
Okay, that's good.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta hit us with a palate cleanser.
Yeah. It's the ginger after your sushi.
I'm sometimes glad. Oh my god! Where are all the weirdos coming out?
Hey, you there?
Oh man, listen, can I get you to come over here?
Death, who is this man?
Just go over there.
Okay.
It's with this weirdo.
Oh.
Rise of the Dragon.
Why do I feel like that's a euphemism for a boner?
Well, it might be.
Death.
Thanks for coming over, few unsaved.
No!
Don't look down.
Or is it the weirdo I am safely in my home away from everyone else? As you should.
Did you also know Trixel's new nickname is now Yeast Infected Double Quarter Pounder? You brought this upon yourself, ma'am. Ha 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 ha
ha. That's so nice.
How dare you make innocent Jewel say that?
Poor Jewel.
How dare?
She's just a baby.
So what's your problem? What do you want?
Okay, well, I was close.
What the hell? You won't color your pants. That's why I called you over. Do me a favor. Can I borrow your... No!
No, man! I might go get you some pants, but you can't have mine.
Huh? Your pants. The pants you got on now. As you can see, I had my bottom pants taken. Come on, pal. I'm in trouble here.
Quarter Pounder, hold the yeast, please.
No!
No.
No!
Nuts to that. I'll give you my pants, and I'm the one standing around in my skivvies. You take
This
me
is the
for a
song
fool?
that the never ends. It just goes on and on, my friends. Some folks started singing it not knowing what it was, and they'll be singing it long after we all are gone, because this is the song that the never ends. It just goes on and on, my friend.
I love that song. How old are you guys? Do y'all remember Lamb Chop? Lamb Chop was my favorite thing back then. This is the song that never ends.
We
Why
didn't
are
need
we...
this.
What? What is
need
with the
this
crotch
shot.
shot game? Oh, what is this game, man? Oh.
Did you hear me the
Yes.
first time?
They
I
have
give you my
Lamb
pants,
Chop
and
dog
I'm the one
toys.
swinging the breeze here.
The girls have a Lamb Chop cat toy somewhere too. I've been seeing them big ass fucking Lamb Chop dog toys, and I really want to go get one and just keep it to myself. Like, it's a plushie with a squeaker. It's still a plushie.
Yeah.
It's still a plushie. And then I can go squeaky, squeaky, squeaky and annoy Joe with it. And it'll be great.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what is this dude's deal?
I guess his deal so far is we need to figure it out so we can leave this uncomfortable situation. Just go through the conversation. What a waste of time.
You know, something
My
that
fault
really
for
hurts
Karen.
my soul is the fact that shows I watched as a kid are now considered retro cartoons. The original Ben 10 is not retro.
I feel that in my bones. Wait.
Dude, I'm in my 30s. How do you think I feel?
Oh, death, buddy. Me too. Me too. Guys,
Hey.
I will be 35 on my birthday.
Hey, hold up. Leave me your pants.
I'll be 35 on my debut. I'm gonna be
You
an
want 'em
old lady.
You want them so bad, you can try and rip them off me. Go ahead. Try and rip off my pants.
Aw, God King's
See
just
if
a
you can take
baby.
this alpha dilf energy.
Guy King's just a baby, Death. He's just a baby.
Yeah.
Sanity!
Fine, screw it. I'll put your underwear on display for the whole world to see when I jack those pants.
This is not how I wanted to test the fighting.
Are we about to fight a pantsless man?
I think we're about to fight a pantsless man, and I don't know the controls. Everyone bear with me. I have a baseball
Mouse is
bat.
and right mouse is heavy. And I think 1, 2, 3, 4 switches your styles.
Yeah, I got that much. I'm never gonna remember dodge or block.
Dodge is E, grab is Q.
I'm gonna have to remember Q at least.
Yeah. I'm sorry, really. I was way out of line. Dude, we just beat the shit out of a man with no pants.
We did, but he said he was gonna jack our pants.
For fuck's sake, what is with you, man?
Dodge
Explain
a blocker
from the
for
top.
suckers. Yes. Yes. I don't use those. Those controls don't exist in my mind.
God, stop showing us his tidy whities,
Wait,
for
you're
fuck's sake.
you're a high school student? Oh, now it just got weirder.
I'm Taro, and I go to Sorton North High. Just before you came by, I got mugged by the baton hunter. The what? Baton hunter? The hell's that? Well, to put it simply, Bonton pants are like school
What's a
uniform
break?
pants, but they got high waists and are super puffy around the thighs. The cool kids wear them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't break either. I will actually just decelerate to take my turns. I don't break for my turns.
No, I know what a Bonton is. So, the Bonton hunter attacks guys wearing Bonton and acts him bigger than their britches. He beats them up and takes their Bonton as a trophy.
So you were acting like a jackass, someone came along and beat the shit out of you and stole your pants. Got it. So the gist of it is this guy kicked your ass and left you with your tidy whities on. Okay, yeah.
Oh. Pretty much. There's nothing I could have done about it, though. The Bonton hunter is a really weird guy.
You just tried to fight us. Why didn't you try to fight him?
Oh, you'll see. Weird. Like, how?
Oh, was this the underwear guy you were telling me about?
No.
No?
Yeah. There's something messed up about him. Big guy. He likes to jump people from behind and pummel them. And on his back... Oh, great. What's the tat?
Yep.
Nah, he's got this tiny student backpack.
What?
Student backpack? Like, from elementary school? See what I mean? He's just messed up in the head. Try getting jumped by someone that loopy, it's just flat out scary, man.
I also want to know where his socks are.
Yeah. It's been going at it every day, too.
They're
The way things are
it's very
going,
distracting.
there's gonna be more victims going pantsless around here.
Fucking okay. Well, now I'm one story richer and a shit ton of
Time the poorer. This all's got nothing to do with me.
Huh?
Whoa, hold on now, please. You can't leave me here like this. Can you get my pants back for me?
I can, though. I can't. Man, his feet must be so sweaty.
Yeah. The way he shows up near him, I got Kato a lot. The bastard's tough, but I bet you can take him. My Bonton's as good as back with you on the hunt for the hunter. Please. Can't think of any good reason why I want to help your sorry ass. Forget you saw me.
I want to know that too. Like I know that they have like shoes that they specifically like wear indoors, but like I would assume you'd wear socks though.
Yeah.
Cause like for sanitary reasons.
Yeah, I would assume you would too, but
Now,
I guess not.
I know they wear socks in school because I read enough anime and manga and stuff that like the slippers that they wear socks with those.
Yeah.
I have why is this businessman in sockless loafers?
This backpack toting guy. Gotta admit, I'm kind of intrigued. He does his hunting near Taco, huh?
Tacos!
I think that's the takoyaki shop.
We're having
Across
soft
the
tacos
bridge we
later.
just came across from.
We're having soft tacos later. Death, do you like soft tacos or do you like crunchy tacos?
I actually like soft tacos more.
I like soft tacos too. I like it when things moosh in my mouth. That sounded really wrong.
Yeah. I guess we can go back across the bridge and check on Statue Guy and maybe find this hunter guy,
I'm
I
so
guess?
used to hitting shift to run, but it's the opposite in this game.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing is because we've been playing Borderlands, at least the directional controls aren't really that bad for me.
Yeah.
Am I going the right direction?
What are you trying to get to?
I thought we were going back over the bridge.
You completely ran past it.
Okay, I ran past it.
Yeah.
I wasn't
right.
paying attention.
And
To right?
wait for it. No, not right.
Left?
Left.
Oh.
Yes. There you go.
I am so turned around. I am not good at...
Oh.
God, there's so many freaks out here!
Ugh. What's with this creeper? Hey you, this is a no napping zone. Why don't you get up and move along? He's not napping. I'm hurt.
Did you have too much Taco Bell? Did you eat too many soft tacos?
This guy get the snot kicked out of
What a
him?
nap.
He's in so
We'll
much
take a
pain he
nap.
doesn't even talk. Oh no.
Oh, we can
Do
give
we
him
have any medicine?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Wish I had a
Oh,
stamina
no,
drink or
remember
something
the
that
last
could help
time
him,
we
but I'm fresh
played?
out. Oh yeah, we're completely out of healing items.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
We can come back to him later.
Alright, yeah.
It's not like he's going anywhere.
Right,
And we can check on Statue Man.
Statue Man.
Is that? Yeah, it's the street performer guy. Drew himself a good-sized audience, too. Nice to see, huh?
Is
Huh?
he staring at us?
He's signaling us, I think. Huh? What's he doing? Making some signals? I better get closer and see what's up.
We'll just get in and stare at him.
Yeah, just talk to him.
It's not prompting me.
You gotta be from the front.
Wow,
There you
Jesus. Lick him!
go. Yo, Tokokichi, you're pulling in a good crowd. Yes, that's been good at least. So you seem to be trying to tell me something here. What's up?
I wonder what he tastes like.
Yes, I need to use the bathroom.
Oh, this poor man's gotta piss.
Oh man. Mama, why is that man talking to the statue? He's weird. Shh. He's just a little different. It's rude to stare. He forgot to take his medication today, sweetie.
Oh boy.
Psst. Thanks to you, people think I'm a nut job. Sorry, but you're the one talking to a statue. So why are you calling me over about your problems? I had 5 bags of Taco Bell. Help me!
Help me!
There's police over here. Why not make a beeline for their crapper? No way! I can't do that. There's a little kid watching. If he saw a statue suddenly spring to life, he might be traumatized for life.
Good. Fuck them kids.
I guess that's true. I don't want to shatter the boy's dreams, but I do need to go relieve myself. My eyes are floating. What should I do? Hey man, ignoring nature's call never ends well. Why don't you just sneak off when the little tyke ain't watching?
Oh my god, it's either scare a child or shit yourself and scare a child. I mean, what?
Yes.
We don't really have a lot of options here.
Sneak off when he's like, that's it.
Boot the child. Boot to the face. Boot to the head.
What? I got a bad feeling about this.
You feeling bad about it? Got the rumblies in your tumblies?
I really hate to ask, but can you distract these people just long enough for me to sneak off to the pizza place? Who, me? Yes, you. Naturally. I'll compensate you for your trouble. I'm sure you can do it. I don't know why, but I just know.
Alright, so does Majima have any hidden talents I don't know about?
No.
Aw, that's unfortunate.
But... please. If I don't go soon, I'll traumatize more people here in just that bite.
You're gonna piss yourself.
What to do?
Well, I guess we're just gonna have to help him.
Yeah. Fine, I'll help you.
You can
In
do
this
a cool
fanfic-
trick with a cucumber. No.
He could make it disappear.
Oh my god!
Thank you.
Not the cuke.
Okay, we gotta figure out how to distract this
Oh my
crowd.
God, please don't be like don't give me a string of buttons to push. I can't
Okay,
handle it
how
right
to-
now.
Guess I can try raising my voice.
Look, a UFO!
Yeah.
That one sounds fun.
Let's go with a UFO sighting. Not the most creative approach, but... Hey, what's that? Up in the sky!
Oh, yeah.
Look, it's a UFO!
Huh?
Huh? A UFO? Where?
Yeah, people
A
are
UFO?
easily entertained.
There, now's your chance. Tuck and roll. What the heck? There ain't no UFO up there, eh? Forget it. The statue's the real deal. Man, these people are bored.
Jiggles keys?
What? Am I imagining? Maybe that statue's over this way a bit more? Well, at least he managed to scoot a little. What to do next? Maybe a little performance would draw their interest.
Oh my goodness.
Sing a
Oh,
song. Sing a
thank you
song.
for the sub! Boom! Oh no, it didn't make it! It jumped right out of the jar. I'm so sorry. Physics were not on our side today. Oh shit, a riddle sounds boring.
Yeah, sing a song. Sing. You definitely want to hear Majima sing.
Okay, for you, Death. For you.
All right, time to debut my singing chops.
He's really going out on a limb here for
Out
this
of the
guy.
blue, I bring my singing to you.
素直に I love you 届けよきっと You love me 伝わるさ君に合うガラスの靴を
I couldn't be so bold.
Oh, wow. Oh? You gotta be brave break out singing a cappella in public, you got pipes, buddy.
Acapella. Acapella. You know that song.
Oh, yeah. We definitely need to go to the karaoke bar and have
No,
him
we
sing
can't
that
do
later.
the karaoke bar with the keyboard. That's scary.
Yes, we can.
No.
Yes, we can. Absolutely. Now's your chance. Haul ass. Acapella is not all that exciting, though. Back to the statue.
It's easier with
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, karaoke with keyboard is actually easier.
Okay, maybe. Dude!
Dude, you're facing the wrong way! Huh? You idiot! You're facing the wrong way! Ugh. Mama, statue sign is turned around. I'm traumatized for life! I wasn't imagining it. The statue is moving. Crap, his cover's blown. Now what? Hey, One-Eyed Willie, you're annoying as hell!
Are we gonna get in a fight with somebody?
Of course we are.
Why does it always come back to violence?
Because this is Yakuza.
Oh, God.
Quit your lame ass singing. What's wrong with you, man? You think you're some kind of street idol?
Who is it to you, old fucker?
Disavow, trust me on this. I ain't singing because I want to.
I lost a bet.
Bullshit. I saw you prancing around. You enjoy being dumb, and I'm gonna beat the shit out of you for it.
Who does that? It solves I'm gonna beat this man with a bat. I don't know how I feel about this.
You should feel pretty good. He sounds like an asshole.
I mean, I didn't say he wasn't. I'm just saying, God.
Remember, the right click is your heat action.
Yeah, I know, but I can't. Do I hold it down?
There we go.
I have to hit shit. It didn't tell me.
And 7 months hospital.
Oh, God. An amber. Don't go making no dinosaurs. That's how we end up with dino nuggies.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Please let me go.
And his name is John.
Oh, Trashy's here. Trashy, I'm sorry. They punished me to an extent that I cannot be punished any further.
She is in the jar. She is in the garbage can. In jail.
I can't
Fine.
do anything. I can't. There's nothing else. They took it all away from you. You won't have any. Like, you won't feel vindicated. I'm so sorry. Look what you've done!
But every time she pauses the game, she has to throw something at her.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
we put her in the box also? Yeah, we can still put her in the box.
I mean, technically, but, like, the box is nice, because it allows someone to adopt me.
Yeah, but they can't adopt you while you're in the jar, in the trash, in prison.
Oh, you can't read the sign. It works. Just in a... Ow! My tits don't work either, and I'm so salty about that. I'm so mad about it. I was looking for my chicken nuggies, though. Chat needs nuggies. There you go.
Wow, that was spectacular. You beat up a homeless man with a bat.
Woo!
What the? Well, man, you rocked it, buddy.
You just gotta beat the shit out of somebody. That'll amuse them.
That was awesome, mister. I'm gonna grow up to be a violent psychopath, too. Wow. I don't know how I did it, but I've got everyone's attention on lockdown. Now, Tokakichi, escape!
That's right, run.
Now the asshole runs. And, if you will, allow me to portray what is going on in there.
What? Death, no!
Oh, God!
It's all them soft tacos!
And that's with the mild
mild sauce.
Oh my god.
Satan is escaping through my asshole.
I'm not sure how that works. You people
But I guess
are
I gotta-
amused so easily.
Majima just like takes out his keys and starts jingling in front of them. They're like, "Holy shit, that's amazing!"
Oh my god, do it again.
Man, I got a news report for the people here. Town high as hell.
Oh.
Man, we're all stoned off our asses. Even this little kid.
Shiny.
There, guess that's the end of that.
Okay, we should.
Okay, go talk to him, I guess. Go talk to Statue Man. Wrong way!
Wrong way! Oh! Listen.
How do you get so turned around?
Listen, I don't understand it either.
The savior of my sphincter. My sphincter savior. Yo, did you make it to the crapper in time? Yes. But nothing will ever save this restaurant. We see someone from the health department come by, and it just puts up a sign that says closed.
Oh my god, no. Julie, what were you doing? If I go up into the bedroom and I find you've eaten all the cat food, you're gonna be in trouble.
Yes, you were so good at distracting everyone. I made it before the potty emergency got real. Crisis averted. I did not shit my pants.
Potty emergency. You guys want to have a potty party? When I have to go to the bathroom, I call it the urination station. Joe hates it. He thinks I'm stupid. And
Is that so? Glad to hear it. Gotta hand it to you, though. It ain't an easy thing, holding people's attention.
Yeah, so I know some people complain about it, but I like it when the cats want to go to the bathroom with me. Because that's extra cuddle time.
Yeah.
So I'll ask Ashy, because she's really big about going to the bathroom. Hey, you go have a party with Mom? And Joe will be like, stop training that cat to want to go to the bathroom every damn time. Because he hates it when she's trying to go in there and he shouldn't. Because she has this thing where no closed doors. The door has to be cracked open. And he hates that. He hates it so much. I don't
Just
care.
like, God damn it, cat, I want to shit in peace.
Yes, exactly. Alright, I do actually have to go make sure she didn't just eat the cat's food or get into the litter box.
Okay.
Dan left. I don't know where he went tonight, but I don't know if he gave her meds, but she's super anxious and she's pacing and drooling and all that. But she left to the other side of the house and came back, and I'm like, what did you do?
Oh no.
So I have to go make sure the door's closed. And make sure she didn't get anything in the litter box. Because she acts out when she's like this. I'll be right back.
Gotcha.
Amuse them, Death.
Okay.
Talk about his sphincter incident.
So anyway, this man had five bags of Taco Bell, all just filled to the brim with Crunchwrap Supremes. I don't know why he chose those specifically, but and then he got like 50 packs of mild sauce. Ooh boy. Again, don't know why he chose to eat this before he decided to do his living statue performance, but yeah, it was probably a bad idea. Anyways, good thing we avoided that. Otherwise, he would have traumatized everyone. He would have traumatized everyone as his asshole just fucking exploded. Yes, PlayStation, I know Trix started a Discord call. They started a Discord call fucking like an hour and a half ago, and you're just now telling me about this. Fucking Christ. Yeah, I mean, I gotta tell you, Kat, I gotta tell you about the fucking potty incident with this man.
I just wanted to go to the bathroom, so I'll be back.
Okay. I gotta tell you about the potty incident, why he decided not to wear a diaper, I guess. I don't know. Maybe he just wanted to live dangerously. Maybe he was hoping his prince would come along and save him from his potty emergency. But death holds up, play hours. I played Yakuza. A lot, yes. And tell me, would they not do something like this? Look me in the eyes, Kat. Tell me they wouldn't. Exactly. Fact. Okay. I came across, like, so I entered into the YouTube search engine, typical Yakuza side quest, and one of the videos that came up was, like, this one guy who said, man, look at all these dead dogs. I sure do love killing dogs. And then some other guy comes along, he's like, he's supposed to be Kiryu, he's like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you now. And he punches him once, and he's like, I'm sorry. I kill dogs because I don't like my son. He likes dogs. Anyways, I will stop killing dogs now. Please take this as a token of my appreciation. And it's just a gun? And then the guy who's supposed to be Kiryu, he starts thinking like, maybe killing dogs is based and awesome.
Oh my fucking god, my back.
It's so weird, but I couldn't argue that that's the typical side quest.
What'd I miss?
Me explaining the typical side quests of Yakuza.
Oh, okay. I let her out and she just stood on the porch. I tried. I mean, I don't know.
And stared into the abyss?
Yeah, pretty much. She's too anxious to go potty.
That's so. Glad to hear it. Gotta hand it to you, though. It ain't an easy thing holding people's attention.
I just really hope that doesn't mean that she's gonna try to go in the house.
That's the truth. People think it's easy to draw attention to yourself, but what they don't understand is how hard it is to hold it once you got it.
Are we talking about performing or shitting?
Your choice.
Oh, God.
Uh-huh. You street entertainers are something else.
Oh, Jesus.
That's music to my ears. When I hear recognition like that, it makes it all worthwhile.
Aw, we've inspired him.
It's not much, but please take this with my thanks.
You got a stamina royale. Cool.
Oh, we can go heal that guy now.
Yeah. By the way, you got a real talent for performing yourself.
I don't know about that. No, you really do. You have an air about you that really holds people's interest.
So many people on the internet want to fuck you, man.
Yeah, so many people.
So many people.
Included. It was so amazing. I just couldn't look away.
It was so inspiring that I almost forgot to sneak off.
Well, that brawl wasn't a performance.
Of course you are.
Yep. Yeah. Hey, we don't blame you, Kat. That just means you have good taste.
Yeah, it's completely understandable.
Really was spectacular. It made me realize how much more I need to grow as a performer. You inspired me to keep working hard at this.
We hear a news report later about a living statue performer who put 12 people in the hospital with a baseball bat. This just in. A madman performing as a living statue put 12 people in the hospital today when he assaulted them with a baseball bat.
Only 12. Only 12.
And like we see camera footage of it, and he looks at the camera and he's like, "Do you see me, Majima Senpai?"
Oh my god.
Well, there goes an on duck. But you gotta respect that it ain't easy making people laugh or bringing them joy. Being an entertainer is as tough as any other business. I feel like they put this in just for streamers.
No, for real. Like, he's
Yeah.
looking at me like, I'm talking about you.
Yeah. He's like, "We see you. We see your struggle."
Thank you for seeing me, Majima.
The entertainers.
Majima makes me feel seen.
The entertainer's throne. Will you please come into our pizza shop before the health department closes it for the horrible stench?
The passed out guy's back this way, right?
Yeah, oh god, it's him!
No, 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 no,
Run, run,
no,
run,
no,
run,
no,
run,
no.
run, 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 run.
I'm trying, man.
Go to the takoyaki shop. Go to that exclamation mark. That should despawn him. Yeah, keep going down that way. Okay, just a little further.
I
Well, I
want
mean,
some
yeah,
takoyaki.
Yeah, you can buy some takoyaki as
I want
a
some nums.
healing item.
Fuck yeah, give me them num-nums. Right. Come on, bro. There we go.
Yeah.
Nice bonton you got there.
Oh god, this guy.
Yeah, he is wearing a little kid's backpack.
Oh, that's fucking freaky, bro. There's a VTuber in a Yakuza game? There is?
Yeah, in Infinite Wealth.
Oh!
I'll be taking those bonton.
I haven't been... we haven't gotten that far yet.
You talking to me? Maybe you need glasses, because those pants ain't these pants ain't bonton. This here's what you call a tuxedo.
Oh, good, you're home. She's freaking out. He's here. Go to him. She got in the shit box. I had to stop what I was doing and go get her. She's being nice. She's being nice.
Stop talking like I care. Just drop your pants.
I think I didn't consent to that.
Yeah, I need an adult.
Help.
You're
Police?
the bonton hunter I heard about, huh? Got the school backpack and everything. Want to tell me what your deal is? Things I want to say. And Cat's over there like, things I want to say to Majima for 500.
Right.
You don't want to take him off? I'll help you do it. It's more fun that way. Peeling's better than stealing.
Oh my god!
Oh, Jesus.
Treating us like a banana? Come on, man.
Oh, man. I feel like we should inform the police.
Oh my god.
Not exactly. Repeat that joke again. All right. Things I want to say to Majima for 500. You made your choice. I'm gonna have fun ripping those pants off you.
I don't like this man. I don't feel safe.
Okay, you know what? Beat the shit out of him, please, Trix.
I don't feel safe. Come here, man. Oh god. The controls
He's
are.
beefy.
Oh, whoa! Why is he
Look
so
at that.
big?
Look at that HP. Holy shit.
Jesus Christ! I like the bat. I knew I was gonna like the
You like
bat.
slugger style?
Oh my
Yeah.
god! There's just something about beating the absolute fuck out of a man, you know?
Yeah. Wait till you see Majima's third style.
I thought it said Q was grab. Can you not grab in this style?
Oh no, you can't grab in this one.
Okay, that's fine.
In this style you can't grab, but it does do a guard break.
It's fine.
Q guard breaks. Majima twirls the bat around, and if the enemy is guarding, it'll break their guard.
Also, shift also guards, so I like that a lot better than the up
Yeah.
button.
And remember, you can pause at any time to eat a healing item if you feel you need to.
Dude, get off of my ass! I don't like playing with the keyboard.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Come on, buddy. Oh! Stepped on it.
Yeah.
Stepped on it.
Step on you, bitch.
Bro, I'm just button mashing. I won't even lie to you. I really am just smashing the shit out of the buttons.
That's fine. Do it.
If it works, right?
Yeah. If it works, man. Fucking go for it.
Oh, fuck. Oh, that's gonna get me. That's gonna get me death.
Go ahead and eat your takoyaki. I think that'll do it, actually.
I think I should eat my snacky. Just
Yeah, eat your
stop in the
snacky.
middle of battle and be like, nom, 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 nom.
Man, that takoyaki is fucking dynamite. It healed all your broken bones.
Tasty.
You had 21 million yen from that guy.
We're gonna have to eat some money.
What the hell? I lost to this one-eyed chump.
Hey, the amount of my eyes doesn't determine the quality of my fighting.
Yeah. Gotta hand it to you. You ain't half bad.
Yeah, but like, what the fuck is this man's deal?
Well, funny you say man. What's with the getup, huh?
It's not a man?
Wait for it. Oh my gosh, it's Ryoji-kun, and he's down. Whoa, you're right.
Oh?
Huh? We're sorry. Please leave him alone. Please let him go. Ryoji-kun was doing this for us.
He was stealing pants for you?
Oh, for crying out loud. What now?
For real, bro. What the hell?
He's got some nerve falling asleep after all that. Are you telling me this brute this size is still an element? What?
That's a kid?
We just beat up an elementary school student.
I have questions and mixed emotions.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Ryoji-kun is a classmate of ours. He's always been like this, right?
So what does he have, like, gigantism? Like, what the fuck?
Possibly. Yeah, a school backpack never ever looked right on him. So, you've got a 6th grade Hulk ripping the bottom half off of school jerks twice his age? Those guys must be double sorry when they gotta explain it.
Right.
Yeah. But you said he wasn't hunting down But you said he was hunting down Botan for you guys. Care to explain what that's all about? Ryoji-kun's getting revenge for us on the delinquent kids of Soten North High. Oh? They're real scummy. They beat up kids our age, take our money, and threaten us if we don't tell grown-ups. So we don't tell grown-ups. We hate them. Oh, so he was beating up bullies.
So that little pantsless shit in the alleyway lied to us.
Yup. Let's go beat his ass again.
Oh, wait, we really should.
So you're saying Ryoji-kun there took it upon himself to take your fight to them?
Hi.
Yeah. But we didn't deserve what Ryoji-kun did for us. Why is that? Because we shunned Ryoji-kun for a long time. But even then, he went and did this for us. Okay, back it up. What made you guys shun him? I mean, the kid's downright intimidating, I'll give you that one. It's Ryoji-kun's dad. He's a Yakuza.
Oh no!
Yakuza, huh? Alright.
It always comes back to these goddamn Yakuza.
When we were little, we all played together. But when our parents found out about Ryoji-kun's dad, they say we couldn't play with him anymore.
Oh.
Now Ryoji-kun's all by himself at school. Even the teachers are all careful and polite around him, like they're scared. So he's the son of a Yakuza. There's gotta be plenty of those around here. Why is it such a big deal? Because Ryoji-kun's dad isn't a regular Yakuza. He's some big shot in the Omi Alliance. That's why everyone's scared of him. I'm starting to see the big picture now. After all we did to ignore Ryoji-kun, he went out looking to even the score for us. We don't deserve anything he's done for us. We suck.
Oh, I feel kind of bad for these kids, bro.
Yeah.
This game playing with my heart,
Hey,
bro.
what are you blabbling to this guy for? Ryoji-kun.
Get back! Oh, welcome back.
Ryoji-kun, you're awake.
That's a kid, apparently.
I ain't doing this for you.
Oh?
Huh? I just can't stand those Soja North punk asses walking around like they own the place. Nah, you're lying, Ryoji-kun. I saw you get all pissed off when you heard those jerks were picking on some of the girls in our class. Shut up! I said that ain't why.
So defensive.
Aw, he's tsundere.
Oh, shut up, Baka.
I'm sorry. We're sorry. We won't ignore you anymore. Please, can you forgive us for the way we treated you? I told you that ain't got anything to do with it. I seriously can't stand those Soten North pussies. They made it to high school, but there ain't one of them that can actually fight. Bunch of losers.
Except you, one-eyed guy. You beat me up like I'm just some punk kid. You are a punk kid!
No, for real.
What do you mean? Other than being built like a bulldozer, you are just a punk kid, you know? Yeah, but dude, you're as tough as my old man. Sure you're still in high school?
Oh,
He
is a grown-ass
30.
man.
Still going on about that? I told you. This ain't no Bonton.
I don't give two shits about it. I decided I'm gonna be a bigger man than my dad. Ain't no way I can accept losing to some stranger off the streets.
It was like a personal problem.
Yeah. I ain't forgetting your face, bro. Next time I see ya,
I'm taking your Bonton. Screw any other Bonton. I won't rest until I rip those pants off you. Oh.
You can't just be saying things like that. You gonna go to prison.
Yeah, you might
Michael.
want to learn about this thing called context, kid.
Oh my god. You're right.
hey, don't shout crazy shit that'll turn heads, kid.
Whatever. I ain't got time for kitty games. I'm out. You kids got this?
Hi.
Yes. We'll make sure Ryoji-kun will be okay.
Oh, wait. This pair of Bonton pants Ryuji had. What'll we do with them? Who cares? Chuck them. Guy's wearing them was an ass. Mister, can you return these pants to the guy who owned them? If we do it, he might beat us up. Fine. I'll do that if I happen to cross him.
Yeah, let's go return his pants, Trix.
I don't know
and
if
then
I
remind
want to.
him. No, we'll return his pants and remind him why it's a bad idea to pick on little kids.
Oh, as long as we're gonna teach him a lesson, then I think it's
Yeah.
okay.
Some kid this turned out to be, oh well, guess I gotta help out his buddy. I'll go give these pants back to that pantsless punk.
God.
So, funny enough, did you see how Kat said wait till Yakuza 2?
Yes. Does he grow up? Does he become a even bigger boy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Where was
Yeah,
that guy?
go down. Yeah, go down the bridge there. There you go. Go down the bridge and go left.
Why is he still here?
Who's still here?
Who you think?
Oh, the injured guy? Yeah.
No.
Of course he's still...
No. Why is he still here?
Which guy?
The money guy.
Oh, fuck, he is!
Yeah. Why is he still here?
Okay, we're gonna have to go the long way. It's fine.
I don't want to go the long way.
Okay, go down the street here. We're gonna go down the other bridge, and then loop back around.
There's another bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my fucking god.
What's this girl doing by herself? She lost?
God, there's so many people.
Hey, kiddo. Where's your mom? Are you lost? No, I'm not.
I can do the girl
Actually, you know what? I'm
voice.
gonna give you... Yeah, I'm gonna give you
You
this
know, I
one.
was like, okay, Gav, yeah, sure. You do all the
No?
voices.
Then what you standing around for all by yourself then, huh?
No reason.
What's with this kid? She doing it right, She's doing it right by not talking to strangers, but it's dangerous here. Better send her packing.
Dude, what's up with all these kids?
Who the fuck knows?
Like, I thought
Listen.
there was like a red light district. Like, why are there children around?
Because some of their mothers work here?
I guess, but like, Jesus.
Listen, why don't you hightail it back to your mom instead of loafing around here? This ain't no place for kids. Majima, you're in front of an arcade.
Okay.
Off with thee then, you little scamp. Kinda looks like she had something to stay. Still, she ain't lost. And ought to make it home okay. Just hope there's no trouble lurking about.
You want a red light district daycare place? Yes. At least they would be safe all in one place. That's a really gay wall.
Yeah.
Wait, she's just gonna stay there?
I mean, you could talk to her again.
Drop off your kids as you stint into the strip club.
Yeah.
Yes. Nope, she's just gonna stand there, alright.
Alright, I guess we just gotta come back later for her.
Okay, girl. Don't die.
Okay. Yeah, keep going until you get to the end of the street, and then you're gonna turn left. Alright. Keep going. Go to the end of the bridge.
Bridge
and
number
then...
2. I am stuck
Yep.
on the floor. He bugged out and got stuck on the floor. Oh God. Why are
Turn
they?
left.
Why are they after me?
And
Still
just keep running down the
hungry.
street.
You need food. You need food.
Keep going.
You're running into a damn dude. So many damn people around here.
Keep going.
Meow.
Wrong. You turned completely around.
Did I?
Yes, you did. Keep going that way. Just
Okay.
keep running. Alright. Pantsless guy's right there. Huh?
Oh, yeah, you little shit.
You're that guy. Alright. The fellow who had his bonton taken by Ryuji. Well, I'm here. I suppose his pants now would just... Holding on to his pants now would just be cruel.
Deserved.
Oh, yes, this is it. My bonton pants. Thanks so much. Was that guy near Magato, like I said? Yeah. Punk tried to jump me for my pants, too. I ended up being asked to get those pants back to you.
Huh?
Huh? You ain't even wearing Bonton. Why'd he jump you anyway? Forget it. Not a story worth repeating anyway. See ya. Well, thanks for your help. I gotta go too. Gonna round up some buddies and... Oh, fuck.
Oh, why?
We all got accounts to settle. I want to go check on him again. What?
Ah.
Come on now, I can't take this lying down. My pride's been wounded. If I round up all my buddies in town, even that guy won't stand a chance.
You wouldn't be in this situation if you weren't being a bullying fuck in the first place.
Yeah! I got a beating away on that amped up punk. Gotta run.
He's a
Oh,
child.
shit. Hey!
He's just a kid.
Kid's in trouble now with all those punks in town descending on him. Even he's gonna be in it deep. Ain't gonna be pretty, that's for sure. Ah, hell. Better go see what's going on around Magatako.
Taco! Alright, Death.
Let's go see if Ape Man has despawned.
For real, for real. I am
Okay.
stuck on a pole.
Turn right. Right. There you go. Yeah, it looks like he has at the very least.
We could at least heal this guy too.
Yeah. Ugh. Hurts so bad. Guess he's in too much. Give him some medicine, I guess.
I guess. What am I? Okay.
Yeah.
The only thing we have.
Stamina Royale. Okay.
There.
Isn't this quite a world? Like
God,
you fucking
this is madness.
yeah. Like you fucking get the shit beat out of you. You got multiple broken bones, fractured ribs. You chug a monster and they just heal instantly.
Yeah, let's go.
Here you go, pal. Drink this.
I don't want to see the inside of his sculpted mouth. It's freaky.
Gulp. Gulp.
Jesus, drink the shit. Don't inhale it.
You all right?
Hi.
Yes. I'm feeling much better now. Thank you. Want to tell me what happened? Why'd you get laid out? It's because I was chasing a dream.
Oh my god. Could you be any more dramatic?
Oh, wait till you hear what the dream is.
Oh, I don't want to know. I don't.
Here we go.
I don't want to know.
Majima's just like, well, might as well pull the pin on this grenade.
Fuck it. Let's go.
What's this dream about? What's this about a dream? It's my dream to boldly walk across Iowa Bridge. Okay.
You not have legs or feet, sir?
Oh, right. A grand old dream. Like walking across this bridge sure does explain why you got beat to an inch of your life. Except not really.
Huh?
I mean, come on. It would take more than a minute or two to just stroll across this bridge. Look, I'll do it right now. And Majima just runs across the bridge and runs back. Like, why is that so hard? But it's not that simple.
Isn't it?
And why's that? It's because of the Stajun I'm wearing.
Take
I'm
it
sorry,
off!
Oh, yeah. What? Oh, no. You don't know what a Stajun is? That's terrible. You're not with the times at all. So not cool.
He's-
Look, I'm about to throw you in the river if you don't explain what the fuck is going on. Stajun is short for stadium jumper. It's a jacket worn by athletes at stadiums so they stay warm and limber.
It's
Okay?
okay, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a varsity jacket.
Yeah, but here in Japan, it's Stajun all the way. Okay, cool.
Okay,
neat.
and like get to the point, my guy.
Why in the world would wearing a Stajun make it so you can't cross Iowa Bridge? Well, you put on a jacket like this and pop the collar, and suddenly everybody thinks you're some kind of big shot. All the punks come charging out looking for blood.
There's no it's not worth it. Stop wearing the jacket.
Yeah.
Maybe the jacket didn't say "Bring on the fights."
Is that what that says translated?
Yeah, it does.
Oh my
it does.
fucking
That's what
god!
it's translated to. It says,
Oh
"Bring
my
on the fights."
fucking god! This guy.
Yeah, he's a fucking idiot. I've tried crossing 8 times now, but every time goons show up and beat the crap out of me before I can make it. Take off the fucking jacket. Guess what you gotta do, Trix?
Do I have to beat this jacket off of this man?
No. You have to defend him while he walks across the bridge.
Oh my fucking god. Okay, Death, I'm gonna pause for a moment.
Yeah.
Because I got a very, very important update.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I can see it. I can see your whole screen.
No! No! Spoilers! Spoilers! Don't look! Look away! It's the whole
You
ass
shared
bottle!
your screen, not the game.
No! Death Protect, you didn't see anything! You saw nothing! Death, you saw nothing! You didn't see anything!
Oh, man. I saw it, guys.
It was an accident!
Your mic is peaking. I can't hear anything you're saying.
I can't breathe. Oh my god, that was totally an accident, and it was my fault, so I can't even be mad at you.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't pop up on stream, at the very least.
Oh my gosh. Ooh.
Yeah, I saw spoilers for the debut.
Big spoilers.
Yeah.
Bigger spoilers. The biggest spoiler there is. The only other person who has seen this is Chesh. That's it.
Yeah.
I got these cramps.
Yep.
Oh my god. Well.
It's not like I'm gonna tell anybody.
I know, but like, now you're not gonna want to come to the debut. You're gonna be like, I've already seen everything. Is that worth it?
Why wouldn't I want to come to the debut?
I don't know. Nobody.
Why wouldn't I want to come support my homies?
I don't know. Nobody ever hangs out with me on my birthday. Can I save that? Man, I hate Twitter.
No messages on my phone yet, which means I'll finally just get to go back to my normal job tomorrow.
Finally! I wanna. Can I?
Good girl.
Can I send it through? No, because it just sends it as a link. I can't fucking save it. That's stupid. Thank you for the head pats. Like, even when I click on it, when I like the settings, only share like the video quality and the playback speed, which is useless. I want to show Josh. It's not fair. Damn, I got big ass titties though. They are so canonically accurate.
Yay!
Yay! Well, at least some of my tits are working, you know.
Yeah, right? Again, like, that just reminds me the first time I heard about tits. It was during one of Project Melody's stream, and she just, like, literally said, "Are my tits on?" And I'm like, I had to do a double take at the screen.
Wait,
I was
wait
like,
a minute.
wait, you can turn those off? I've tried crossing 8 times now, but every time goons show up and beat the crap out of me before I can make it.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez. That certainly is a unique problem. There's gotta be other dudes wearing jackets like that, right? They aren't all getting mauled by the riffraff. Just unpop the collar, you douchebag.
Right?
Right,
It's
if
so
we can't explain
simple.
it. But when I do it, I get so much heat. Does my face piss people off, or is it just my destiny?
Oh no,
Dude,
you do kind of have like that resting bitch face.
just unpop the collar and people won't think you're a punk.
Jesus, but hi, Yuli. That's all spoilers. That's all spoilers.
Yes, Destiny's an asshole if that's the case. But alright, at least I get why you were bleeding out on the pavement here. Yeah. So, here's a novel idea. Maybe take you off the Stadjun. Seems like that's the source of all your woes.
Yeah.
Would that defeat... How?
This guy. Can I throw him in the river, please?
You know what? I fucking love the model Keyblade that I had, but if people were beating the shit out of me over it, I'd throw it in the dumpster. What the fuck are you talking about, my dude?
Oh, this is like, oh my god, this is first world problems right here.
Yeah. That defeats the purpose. I love this Stadjun. I wouldn't believe how much trouble I went through to get this sweet jacket. I want to wear it loud and proud. Unpop the fucking collar.
Let me guess, he got it off of Amazon.
Yeah,
Like
he
the-
got it off of Amazon.
Like the Japanese version of Amazon.
That's my dream.
Oh my god.
Well, it's a free country, but I'd wager you've got another beating coming down the pipe if you go through with it. That's what complicates things. Yeah, your stupidity.
God, this guy is awful. I hate him. He's the worst character so far.
Oh, sorry. How rude of me. My name's Suda. Suda, you,
I don't
sucka.
care. I literally don't care who you are. You suck.
Yeah. I don't give a shit who you are. Just fuck off, dude.
You're suck now.
Suda-chan,
That's
huh?
your name.
I'm Majima. Yeah, your name is piece of dumb shit.
US.
Majima-san, if you don't mind me saying, you look like a man who can wade into brawls and walk away without a hair out of place. Yes. Well, I've got a hair tie, but yeah, I can hold my own.
I don't see how that was relevant, my guy. But okay.
Majima-san, I'm sorry if this sounds wimpy, but do you think you could help me make my dream come true? Majima just like, sure, picks him up and throws him across the bridge.
Yes!
Problem
Just yeet
solved.
the man! Problem solved. Just yeet him. Just...
Yeah.
Nyeh. Nyeh.
Huh? What do you mean? I know it's probably an imposition, but do you think you could fend off the goons while I proudly strut across Iowa Bridge?
Oh my fucking god.
When he says proudly strut, he really fucking
Oh,
means it.
no.
This is the slowest goddamn walker
Oh,
I've ever
no.
He walks with his chest puffed up.
Oh,
Like,
my...
no wonder everybody thinks you're some punk.
Who walks like that? Ugh. I don't like this man.
God, fucking Jesus. All right, let's help it. Let's
Alright,
help him achieve
fine.
his dream, chicks.
Fine. I'm all about dreams and rainbows tonight.
Yeah. Please, Majima-san, please help me realize my really, really stupid dream.
God. Sure, okay.
Has anyone heard from McDarmo?
I heard from him early today.
Oh,
He told me
my
he was,
stream earlier.
Yeah, he popped in earlier when me and Ark were working on art, and told
Okay.
me that he missed me and he would get back to me soon. I
Okay.
think he's heading off to another place. Doing a
Okay.
little more traveling.
Okay.
You really do this? You mean it? I mean, I know I asked, but I didn't expect to meet a person kind enough to get into a fist fight for me. Yeah, that's because there's no one stupid enough to do this besides me. So let's fucking get this over with.
Right.
Yeah, story of my life, but you're serious about this Stadjun drawing out goons like flies on rotten fruit?
Yeah, I think he's okay. I'll message him again when we're done with stream. See if he's alright.
Hi.
I don't want to watch you walk across this bridge because it's only going to make me angry.
Oh yeah, totally. Just watch.
I don't want to.
Watch.
This
Watch
man
closely.
is about to test every ounce of patience I own in my body.
Oh, he is. Hmm?
Huh?
Hey, you! You think you're hot shit in that jacket?
Oh my god, it's just a jacket, dude. It's not even that deep.
See? Yeah, I'm seeing it. Can't tell if it's a Stajun or you that's drawing all this aggro, though.
Yeah, I'm playing on keyboard. I don't like it, but I'm managing.
Okay. I'm gonna strut proudly down this bridge. Please keep me safe.
Alright, pussy.
Alright. Enjoy your stroll, bud. These punks are gonna pay the toll to the troll.
Oh, jeez, Majima, please. Don't enable this fucking behavior.
Yeah, don't enable his behavior, Majima.
I don't like
Protect the civilian. Alright, here we go. Look at how fucking slow he moves.
Fuck off.
I cast 12
Alright,
months
dude,
hospital.
go! Go! Fucking go!
You gotta be close to him.
Oh my fucking Christ. Oh my god.
Get
Oh
away,
shit,
huh?
here we go. I'm sick of this shit
Boy,
already.
bitch! You ready?
And his name is John C.
Go. Just beat the shit out of him. Go, run.
Oh, this is ridiculous. Fucking move! Faster!
Dude, run. Oh my fucking Christ.
Oh, there's way too goddamn many now.
Yeah, oh god. Okay, be ready, Trix. Good swing.
I did okay.
Nice.
Alright, dude, let's go. You're right fucking there. You're right fucking there. You better fucking get there. I swear to God, if anybody shows up.
There we go.
Holy balls, Can I take the bat to this guy? You had to deal with a coyote that was trying to sneak into your chicken coop? Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes! I finally did it! I made it all the way across Iowa Bridge while wearing my beloved Stajun!
You didn't do shit, dude.
God.
Aw,
for
thank
you.
you so much for the beaties.
Hi.
Oh.
Yes. Thank you, Majima-san. You made
I know
my
he's
dream
not. That's my
come
partner.
true.
I thought it was really funny the first time you showed up. I was like, oh, we got another pool. We got another pool in the chat. But yeah, that's Joey.
Yeah.
Oh my, they're fighting with the bits again.
I'd like you to
fighting
have
with
this.
the
This is the
bits.
best I can do is my thanks. You got an encounter finder.
Is that gonna tell me where dumbasses like you are? So I can avoid
Probably.
you?
That's gonna tell you when enemies are nearby.
I know
don't
when
think I've
enemies
ever
are
been this
nearby.
happy. I'll
They
never
scream at
forget
me.
what you did for me. Oh.
Oh my god,
oh.
look, the fighting in the chat. Yo!
Yeah. Cruising around in a jacket is that big of a deal, huh? I know, I don't think most people would understand how much this meant to me, but still, it's my dream.
Oh god, I can't with this obnoxious little... Oh, his face is so punchable!
Yeah.
Ah! Your sister used to share an account called Princess Bolt? That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool name. No. He said no. So I can tell you what half of it, when I first met Joe, it was through a cosplay group because he cosplays Deadpool.
Oh, okay.
The PD part, you're gonna have to beat it out of him because no, you don't want to hear about that.
Oh, okay.
Let's just say it's a nickname they used to call him at school, like back in the day.
Oh. Okay.
And we'll leave it there. It's an old
Sorry.
nickname.
I shouldn't have called you Odd. No, you absolutely should call him Odd, Majima. In fact, you should call him a dumbass.
I just realized that my dye is literally the same color as my Powerade.
Huh.
And this is
That's a
very
little
amusing
dangerous.
to me. This is very amusing to me. Like, I mean, the color is spot on.
That's a little dangerous. They are fighting with the bits.
Oh yeah, all the damn time. Yeah, Ark was like, I never get payouts. I'm like, it's not even me who does it. I'm not even, like, doing anything. Jesus Christ.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, dude, fuck. Well,
That's a way.
He shouldn't have. He shouldn't have owed your boss any money.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Alright. That message was important, but not as important as the other one. Ark, what are you... Oh, Ark did,
Did the art.
the art, yeah. I was like, what the fuck does Ark want?
Yes. You asked him to send you the art.
I know. And I forgot. Look how fucking spot on that color is. It's ridiculous.
That, yeah, that's dangerous.
Like, I'm scared. I don't know what my Powerade's made of. My Powerade is made of dice. I'm not surprised. I mean, like, everything you say is surprising, but because it's you saying it, I'm not surprised anymore. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that. I guess I kind of forgot about that.
They're one bit away. They're just one bitting it now.
No need to apologize, Majima-san. I owe you a life debt. You never need to apologize to me ever. Okay, good. You're a dumbass.
I take it back. You're fucking weird. You're fucking weird, dude.
Yeah. I guess so. I get told that often.
Oh my god.
Well, after that, I'm hungry. I'm gonna head home for food. I'm gonna head for home and food. See ya. Good luck on those bridges. Yeah. Hey, dude. How are you gonna get back across the bridge to go home?
Right. Like how are you? Now it's not a problem. It's not a problem anymore.
I guess I think so much about what others think. If it's something you want to do, you better get to it.
Why are there life lessons in this fucking game? I do appreciate the bits, though. The bits are very helpful. Oh my god, look at the jar. Jar's like half full. Holy shit.
Nice. Whoa!
Of course, he's being attacked
fuck.
again. Huh?
Huh? Hey, what's with that hard-ass statue? You trying to be funny? Bring on the fights, huh? Let's get it on then. Help! Take it off and go home, man.
Right, for real. Just take it off.
Jesus H. fucking Christ. Just take off the fucking jacket. Other way. There you go.
Alright.
Go down that street, turn right.
Shouldn't we buy some healing stuff now?
You can buy some more healing takoyaki, sure.
Oh my fucking Christ. Come here, let me beat you with a fucking baseball bat. Bro, I'm just mashing fucking buttons and I'm doing like the coolest shit on this keyboard compared to the controller. I don't like it though, it's uncomfortable, but like I'm beating the fucking snot out of folks and I'm not upset. It just goes back into Joe's pocket. Joe doesn't get my money.
Yeah.
Joe doesn't get my money. I get to keep every bit of my money.
Yeah.
Y'all want to know how much Joe contributed to my debut?
How much?
$165.
Damn, okay.
In total though, I've spent over 1,000.
Yeah.
So yeah. Joe contributed to the rigging and the model. That was it.
Nice.
$3.01. Remember though, like this was over the course of an entire year. A little even longer than an entire year.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can buy more than one.
I don't want just takoyaki though.
I mean, it seems like they're a good healing item.
I only recognize the 350 reference.
Oh shit! Here comes the beast man. Initiate!
No. Oh wait.
What the?
Why is this man still? Oh my god! He's like stalking me.
You do this by yourself? Just a bunch of mooks. Doesn't matter how big a swarm they make, they're still worthless.
A Steve Martin movie. That's probably why I don't know the reference.
Probably.
You subscribe to the Viking way, where your wife controls the money and gives you an allowance. You know what? If it wasn't for the fact that Joe's the breadwinner, like I don't make a lot of money. Hell, Joe gives me an allowance. I would, you know, if it was the other, you know, if I was making the bucks, it might work like that. But it's not like that. So he does want to be a house husband, though. So he has told me that he is waiting for me to blow up and become the next Iron Mouse, so he can like not have to work.
Yeah.
And let
That'd
me
be
take
awesome.
care of him. It would be nice. It would be nice, wouldn't it? Oh my god.
Man,
Look at the jar!
Hey, what's your name? Oh, I guess we didn't have to worry about him at all.
Oh, he handled his shit. Oh, wow. If you can get in the good graces of the Yakuza, it makes being a foreigner in Japan a whole lot easier.
Yep.
Oh, nice. I do want to go to Japan one day.
He's a monster.
The plane,
real monster.
The plane ride is going to be a little beefy. Oh my cheek.
Yeah.
Y'all are abusing that poor jar.
Yeah, there's a dragon in the making. The way they're going, our paths might cross again.
A little.
Goda.
Yeah, you're abusing it a lot. Wait,
Rise
is that
of
a
the dragon.
reference? Is this a reference to a later game?
So, do you want me to just straight tell you, or?
You can tell me if it's a reference or not. Is Fuckhead still over there?
It is a reference to a later game, yes.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know, is if it was like a little nod to it, because this is a prequel and I haven't played the other ones yet, so it's nice to know things like that.
I haven't got any cards I could see.
Ryanair is apparently next year starting at $300 a ticket from Texas to Japan. That's fucking dirt cheap.
God King's right about that. If you get an in with the Yakuza, yeah, it does make your life a little bit easier, is the thing. Because Yakuza, they have a very strong sense of honor. Like, yeah, they're a criminal organization, that's to be certain. They work outside of the law, but at the same time, if they owe you something, they will pay back that debt.
Gotcha. So suck one of them's dick and we'll be good to go. It's a joke. That's a joke.
I wouldn't say that, but say you somehow, those manga stories where someone saves someone's life.
Oh, I just need to wait until one of them almost isekais themselves, and I run in and I push them out of the way. Living my anime dream.
I got in with the Yakuza because I accidentally saved one of their executives who was getting his ass beat by hitting the guy with a bench. Yeah.
I mean,
see, if you help out one of the high-ranking officers, say one of their captains was being attacked and you somehow saved them, then they would be like, oh man, I owe you a life debt. And from that point on, if anybody fucked with you, immediately their clan would be on them in a nano fucking second.
You guys have to remember, I am wheelchair bound most of the time. I am not saving nobody's ass.
Yeah.
Best I could do is, like, if I see someone, like, rob them and, like, they run away, I'd be like, he went that way. I'm a snitch. I'm a snitch. I'm a snitch. I'm a snitch. Oh my god, look at the jar! I'm taking my meds right now, by the way.
Okay.
Also, Eric is going to be making a bit of noise. He's got to do, trash.
Okay.
It's trash night. Trash night!
There's an ad now anyway, so.
Good timing.
Ad for Ethos?
Ethos.
Yeah, it looks like a new game coming out.
When isn't there a new game coming?
Yeah.
Alright, I gotta cut some more pills. Did you hear that, Joe? You gotta save somebody in the Yakuza when we go visit Japan.
Yeah.
Get good. Do they wear, stereotypical clothing over there? Are we gonna know how to spot one?
Probably not, is the thing. But how you would notice a Yakuza is they usually wear pins.
Okay. Oh my god, the jar can only handle so much!
Fill the jar. Fill it all the way.
It wouldn't be the first time, but Jesus. Are you like, you leave me alone with the claw machines. Go to a bath that allows tattoos. Fuck, well, we have to do that anyway. We have tattoos. We have tattoos. That's the only option.
Yeah.
We also need to make sure they like foreigners, too. But I suppose if they like tattoos, they'd probably be okay with foreigners as well. Like the fighting, bro. Ads are done. God King Pool, I have a question. How would I be able to recognize a Yakuza in Japan?
Probably the pins, right, God King?
Oh my Jesus. I can only thank you so hard! There's a hype train incoming. If somebody else, I think, either, I think subs? I don't know. Twitch might have just been like, there's so many goddamn bits here, just have it.
Yeah.
Just have it, because this has been going on for a hot fucking minute. I don't speak Japanese. Where's she doing? Did she try to do a great escape? Oh, she's being naughty. Sanity! With the hype train, guys!
Yeah, God King says yes, pins help, yeah.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah, Yakuza usually wear pins with their clan's emblem on them.
I also assume, like, that they do actually respect civilians, like, they leave them alone for the most part.
Oh, yeah, as long as you don't mess with them, they're respectful to civilians.
No, I mean, yeah, so, like, it'd be a good idea to, like, be able to look out for them, too. Just so I know, just so I also don't accidentally be an asshole, you know? Yeah. I'm a foreigner,
just
I don't know,
sure,
I might insult somebody on accident, let's be honest here.
Just make sure anybody you bump into, you apologize.
Profusely!
And, just say sorry, and be polite about it.
Oh, alright.
Okay, let's let this guy view our collection of telephone cards.
My whole 3 cards.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, I can't give it up. I couldn't go on living without reveling in telephone card collections. I need them.
He needs them.
It's totally just about the fact that they're telephone cards and not that there's pretty girls on the front of them.
Throw death at them and show them who's number 1. Okay, Death, are you ready to live your Majima fantasy?
Majima is not a projectile, though.
I mean, I guess he could be.
Yeah, only full 3-card sets really do it for me. Why, you like imagining having foursomes, I guess?
Oh, this is weird. This guy's weird. Worked as a bodyguard for one specific guy. Ah.
Okay, so basically you were just a deterrent to anyone who might get violent.
Just throwing you down. It's a fault. Look how big it is. Look how it's so full. So full.
Yep. Filled to the brim.
And complete a set. Come and show me. I don't think we have a set.
Probably not.
I have 3 cards, but I don't think any of them are a set.
Some guy tried to stab me, so I picked up the assailant and beat him on a stop sign.
Oh, you know, as one does.
Okay, also, you want to go check on that little girl who is standing next to the arcade?
Oh god, where the fuck was that at?
Down the street there.
Oh my... Dude, there's no more room!
Just run past them. Just run right past them, Trix. Most of them aren't gonna do anything.
I feel bad.
Trix.
Death, I feel bad.
You also went the wrong way.
Guy King, the Japanese are also surprisingly short.
No.
Oh my Jesus. Hype train. Alright. Alright, it's gonna deliver.
No, nope, not that way. Not that way. There you go. There you go.
Get in there. Oh, here she is.
Good job. Remember the rainbow wall? Yes, there you go.
Yeah, the rainbow wall.
Okay,
Oh my
I
god,
guess
it's
she
level
still has
2! She's still chilling.
Oh, there's another quest we could check on that might trigger the next part of hers.
Okay, what's that?
Yeah, go on the other side of the street and keep just walking down. Yeah, keep walking down that way. I guess we gotta go through these guys first.
I guess so. We'll beat them in the head. Hello? Oh.
Yeah, I was
clicked
like,
off the screen. My bad.
Yeah, anytime you click off, the game just kind of stops.
It's fine.
Bam.
Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Oh my god. Come on, back up.
There we go.
99% sure I was the largest person in that whole organization. Oh,
Yeah.
my.
Yeah, you're going the right way. Just keep going.
Okay, cool.
All right, you
Like-
see that line? Oh,
Oh.
we found another one. Okay.
Another one!
Okay, we found a completely different one.
Can
but
I
this
clear
works,
the
I guess.
No! I'd have to stop and start the stream over.
You.
A reverse a Waldo, bro.
Huh? You go ahead and take this one.
Oh, the thing is...
You want something from me, don't you? Let's hear it then.
Yes, what I'm trying to say is...
Listen, whatever you're chewing, I can take it. Spit it out.
That sounds nasty. Majima, don't say that to little girls.
What she's about to say next is probably gonna
I have a
make you
favor
eat
to
those
ask.
words.
Can you please be my boyfriend? Girl, no. You need to calm your titties. He has nothing to... What?
What? Am I hearing you right?
I said please be my boyfriend. Please, please, please. The organization is still around. You could easily get a job with them again if you decide to go back. Yeah. You get Christmas cards from the executive. That's so cool.
Yeah. Like I said, Yakuza loyalties are pretty strong.
It's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's what a boyfriend does. You'd be my one and only.
Boyfriend? Right. Okay. Back it up a step or six.
Like, I don't even know your name. I don't even know you. Like, we literally
Yep.
just met Joe. Joe, the jar is suffocating.
Yeah.
Joe. The jar!
The jar is just like
You're fucking waterboarding the jar.
What's with
Fucking
this
dying.
little lady here? Just run up to me on the street
She's
demanding that I
freaky.
be her man? Every girl I meet these days makes me understand them less and less.
You probably still get it because you never betrayed him or did something against the Yakuza. Your visa was up, so you left on good terms. I mean, that's a good way to end it, too. When I did this with a friend, they went, well, Kat, play the role of wanting Majima as a boyfriend. The role of a lifetime for you. It is.
Yes.
It is. This would be the perfect role for you.
I gotta get it together. I can't let her know she got under my skin. I give her a strong answer like, don't even think you've won, little lady.
Oh,
Okay.
he's weak, isn't he?
Alright. Alright, how you answering?
I got no interest in women.
That feels right.
Sorry.
Sorry, darling. I got no interest in women. My heart belongs to you, Chad.
Thank you guys so much for the hype train. You guys are getting some emotes. Oh, that one's cool. That one's cool. I like it. I like it. That's what Kat wants to do the Majima.
Yeah. Press A to smash.
Exactly. Oh, everybody, your hype chests are on the way. Getting your hype chest.
Oh. Yes, to
Oh.
his censored. Oh, okay. I mean, that's not a problem. Wait.
I
what?
think it's the biggest problem. My cat is losing her shit over here. Oh, okay.
Losing my
I mean,
shit.
that's not a problem at all. But if you don't mind, could you set aside your preferences and just be my boyfriend for today? Just today. Girl,
What are you talking about, girly?
Darn it. I've left out a few details, haven't I? I should clarify, I guess. I need you to pretend to be my boyfriend, not actually be my boyfriend.
You could have led with that.
Right! Like, who just walks up to a random dude on the street and be like, be my boyfriend?
Oh, there's a reason she came up to Majima specifically.
Is it because he looks big and strong and intimidating?
Oh, you're about to see. Excuse me? Pretend?
Okay. Did take a bullet for the man? That's impressive. You understood 3 things about your job working there. Don't let Mr. Yakuza.
My nickname for him in way of concealing his identity here. Get hurt. Hurt anybody who tries to hurt Mr. Yakuza, and if all else fails, pick up every person of the family you can and run away.
Just like, I just kind of like imagine, you know those silly cartoons like Warner Brothers where like there's like dishes falling from the ceiling and the one character has to like catch them all.
Yeah.
I just imagine Guy Hinkpole doing that with bodies.
Yeah.
Like stacking fucking plates. Fucking juggling. just juggling the homies, no big deal.
Nice.
Oh, that's hilarious. You see, my father is visiting from back home, and he's demanding to meet my boyfriend. For several years now, he's been hounding me to meet suitors he's arranged for me. He's getting so persistent that I finally got fed up and told him I already have a boyfriend, so back off. Oh no, she wants to dissuade her father.
What? Read the
No!
entirety of this.
No! What the fuck?
Read the
I told him
entirety
my
of
boyfriend is thin, wears an eye patch, has a cool ponytail, and has a dangerous air about him. Kinda like the blade of a knife.
Oh,
Oh my god.
why would you give him so many details, and why did you just describe me down to the buttons?
You got to fulfill a bucket list item and Bane break someone. That's awesome. Just somebody with lying. You don't have to give so many details. For real. That's how you get caught, bitch.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd have to introduce him to my father, so I just made him up as I went.
You never thought you would have to introduce
Hey!
your
Oh my
father,
God.
your father to your
God, with the
boyfriend.
gifted subs. Sma got one. Astaroth, you weren't
Nice.
subscribed, bro. That hurts my feeling. I'm just kidding. It's all good. Balmon got one. Crizella and Mitsuki. Nice. If you're here and you got a sub, you should say thank you.
Yeah.
I can't.
Okay, I get the picture now. I fit the bill, so you want me to act like I'm your man in front of your dad.
Oh,
According to
boy.
members of the family, they were assigned to act as my interpreters because, again, I spoke exactly 5 words of Japanese, all of which I learned from anime.
That is so fucking relatable, though.
Yeah. So a bunch of ladies found
Baka?
you, a bunch of Japanese lady found you
Hi.
hot.
Ichi ni
Awesome.
songs. Chi. I can count to 4. I can only count to 4. I can only count to 4. In Japanese.
I'm a little jealous of that because
Oh.
honestly, like Japanese women are always cute to me.
They are. They're so
I'm-
cute. I think Japanese people in general are adorable. They're so cute. I
Yeah.
love them. I don't want to
Also,
like.
they don't fucking age.
No, for real. They got like they won the genetics lottery. I swear to God.
Yeah, they look young up until like they reach like age 65 or 70
For
and
real.
then just
And
poof.
boom. Poof. It's like
Yeah.
magic. Poof.
Yeah, they don't age until they hit 70 and then boom.
Grandma. like, I haven't started dating my wife now. I'd still be in Japan and have a Japanese wife. They're
Oh.
so cute. Well, they're not.
Yeah.
They're more than just cute. Cause like some will be really sexy too. Like I don't want to infantilize
Yeah.
them. I don't want to. Cause they
I
do have a
mean-
problem with that.
There are Japanese men like Kiryu.
Dad finds out I don't really have a boyfriend. He'll force me into an arranged marriage with some strange man I don't even know. But you're
Hey.
okay with asking a strange man you don't even know to be your boyfriend.
Maybe grow a spine and tell your dad, don't arrange a marriage for me. I'm gonna
Right.
find a partner
Put
on my
on
own.
your big girl panties.
Yeah.
Watashi wa pai ga sukitsu.
Japanese men like Majima, who
Joseph
I wanna
Pepper.
beep 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 beep.
Joey! Stop! Please, no one else looks anything like you. Could you be my boyfriend just for a little while?
I fucking guess.
Fine.
What do you even say to this?
Fine. Fine. That is hilarious. I would love to see that photo. I just want to see
No,
you stacked
don't
up.
translate it.
No, probably not. I know
Who'd
Watashiwa probably means I.
Yeah. Who'd
They're-
want to marry some guy they don't even know and end up spending the rest of their life with them?
If I were to take a guess, he might have said, "I really love you" or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
Hold
know.
on.
I've only watched him. Oh, I'm sorry. He's a shithead. He probably said something like, "I like potatoes." You're not that nice. I know. You're right. Or pie. I like pie. Pie. I love pie.
Okay, English.
Alright, it
Google
means I love
Translate.
pie.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fairly popular in the family because there's an unexpected crossover between Southern manners and Japanese etiquette. Oh, then I'd fit fucking right in. Oh, I'd have to stop cussing first. Because I love saying naughty words. I'm a bad girl. And that's why I'm in a jar, in a trash, in a jail.
I like Japanese pie. That's what it means.
I like Japanese. We talking about pie or we talking about pie?
Fine, you painted yourself into this corner, but I feel your pain. I'll pretend to be your boyfriend.
Kind of pie we talking about, Joe? Unless you're in front of a
It
top
literally
executive.
translated to I like Japanese pie.
I like saying bad stuff. I like being naughty.
Yes, I'm so glad I... Oh, that's you, sorry.
Yes, I'm so glad I didn't lose hope. This bitch is weird. My name is Kokua. Please call me Koka-chan. Oh, and I'm sorry. I didn't catch your name. Yes, be my boyfriend, but
Yeah.
also, I don't know who the fuck you are.
Also, what's your name?
What's your name?
I'm Goro Majima.
I see. Majima-san. I'll address you as Goro-chan.
You know what you did
It's
to
a little
deserve
too
all
personal.
3
We
missing.
just met. That's taking things a little too fast, don't you think?
Yeah, but her dad, No. I know it's just pretend, but we are in a romantic relationship. We can't be so formal with each other. We have to make this believable.
Now, quick, kiss
I
me,
know
kiss
what
me.
Kiss me!
Like, do you think she just saw this guy and was just like, man, he's hot?
Man, he's hot. What
Yeah.
kind of absolute bullshit story can I feed him so I can make out with him?
Yeah. Are we sure this isn't Cat?
It's Cat in disguise. It's Cat in her Japanese form.
And she hires
I feel
some
bad
actor
to whoever
pretend to be
kisses
her
you.
dad so she
Flushed
can
face.
fucking pull off this ruse.
It's a heist. it's your transformation.
First off, I'm not Japanese. Second
You
of
don't know
all,
that.
that's a really good plan. Cat writes it down.
Step 1, become Japanese. I'll be less suspicious if I'm not foreign.
That was due to how much water I was than anyone else in the family. I kept accidentally out drinking the more senior members.
Whoopsies.
But that quickly forgave me because they understood it wasn't my fault.
Oh.
Oh, so you outdrank some of the senior officers.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
you're a big guy. You need more
Yeah.
alcohol. I don't know.
Third of all, this game is set in the 80s. I wasn't even hatched yet.
I was. Could it be 89? Because I was born in 89.
Cat, look me in the eyes and tell me you wouldn't
I
try
think I'm
and
turning
figure out how to
Japanese. I
crack
really
time
think
travel
so.
to do this.
That song or whatever it says.
Damn song.
Look me in the eyes, Cat.
What does that song
Look me
even
in the
mean?
eyes and say it.
I've never actually knew what the I'm turning Japanese song even was trying to say. Pretty sure it wasn't literal. Yes, I do. Well, let's not waste any more time. We should get going, right now. Huh? Motherfucker, where are we going? Turning Japanese is about masturbation. Well, the more you know.
Look into the eyes. Look into my eyes.
I'm so stupid. I saw you come into the chat. I was like, oh my god, guys, Dad's here. It's like a doppelganger. Oh, come on, try to keep up. We're going to the restaurant where we'll meet my dad over dinner. The 3 of us.
Oh,
We
Jesus.
gotta go to dinner. Ugh.
But then there is the grandpa paradox I'd have to deal with.
Not the fucking
Look.
grandpa paradox.
God didn't care when Fry was his own grandpa. Why would they care about you being your own grandma?
Fuck!
We're gonna meet over dinner? I got nothing to say to your dad, Coco-chan. Make it so we meet, shake hands, and then let me go. Well, why don't you? Bing, boom, bing, bang, boom.
Oh, no. That won't work at all. Dad won't be reassured unless I show them what kind of man my boyfriend is. We have to go now, Goro-chan. Get a move on.
Oh, son of a bitch. Damn,
He does
I don't
not
even
like this.
know why I was explaining, but here we are. I don't know what I was expecting, but here we are. I guess we better get going.
We're gonna go.
Oh,
I want
God.
dinner. I want Majima to go to dinner with me. I want to know how he has the eye patch. I want to ask him questions. Okay, Joe, that was actually really cool. That looks really fucking cool. Is Majima gonna pay?
Probably.
Oh my god, this bitch is conning us into a free dinner. They're
Wouldn't that be funny if that was the ending?
Oh my
They were
god.
just two people conning someone out of a free meal.
This fucking game would not surprise me.
Yeah.
Take me to the all-you-can-eat sushi place. Let's go! Let's go.
Yeah.
I only have 2 requests. Don't reveal that you're just pretending to be my boyfriend, and don't anger him. Well, I felt like the first one was a given.
You got it. But what's this all about making him angry? Your dad get pissed off easily?
Mm-hmm. I know, he's just stubborn. He's not scary, though. Sounds sus.
Oh, that's kind of nice, God King. Wagyu steak is fucking amazing.
I've never actually have Wagyu steak. But I fucking love sushi. I love me some sushi.
Yeah, same.
Even the abomination that they created over here, the Philadelphia roll, is my favorite.
Yeah.
Give me the cream cheese, man. They just put you the biggest chunk of cream cheese.
Of cream cheese,
Yes.
yeah.
It's the best one with the smoked tuna. Mm.
What was that noise? I think that was Trix.
I don't know. I just do things. I don't understand it either. Girl, where are they going?
That was your typical Trix noise.
I come with my own sound effects.
Yeah.
You should hear me when you squeeze. like I'm just. They're trying so hard. I think you've killed him. You've taken the spot. You ain't squeezing me. That's okay. You don't have to.
Trix. Trix.
What's wrong, Death?
Game.
But Death, God King wants to squeeze me.
Game, please.
Ow! But it kind of also depends where you squeeze, because different sounds happen depending on different places. Can't stop, won't stop. Oh god, seems to think I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, and he babies me more than he should, but underneath it all, he's a good father, as I could ask for. Wow.
How do I find an app that plays an air horn sound? Well, I suppose it's tough to blame the guy. If I had a daughter like you, I'd be pretty worried too. Wow, you seem pretty fucking stupid.
Alright, Death, which part of me do you think makes an air horn sound?
Actually, I'm just looking for an app to blow in your ear every time you get distracted. So I can remind you that we have a game to play.
But I'm being squeezed! Like orange juice.
Well, forget about it. Ignore it. It's fine.
Is that Kiryu singing Dama Dama Yo in the background?
That's what it sounds like. See, it's worth it to get distracted sometimes. Oh my god. So, like, he was watching this TikTok, and this fucking dude was like, getting mad over people who sneeze more than 4 times, and he accused them of clout chasing, and ever since, Joe can't sneeze any less than 4 times, so every time he sneezes, I was like, stop fucking clout chasing! See, if he starts, God, I can't talk. If you start saying a bunch of weird stuff, he'll blow his lid and be like, forget this guy, I'll arrange your next date. So, let's avoid that.
Choo choo chugga chugga choo choo.
Oh my
no
god.
problemo.
Oh my god. You guys already got the hype train. So,
Yeah.
let's go over my boyfriend's backstory now.
Excuse me? I need a backstory?
Remember, she went all in on these details.
Yeah.
We've been going out for 6 months. You're a dentist who likes to go on drives and watching movies. And your favorite food is omelet rice. It's the omelet rice I make. Wow, narcissist.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow. Wow. Okay, girl. Fine. What was all that now?
I had to give my dad some details about my boyfriend, so I made stuff up. If he gets curious, you can make sure you've got it all memorized.
Well, you ain't exactly making this a walk in the park. How am I supposed to remember all these details?
Fine. From the top, we've been going out for 6 months. You're a dentist. You like going out on drives and watching movies, and you love the omelet rice I make, okay?
I'll give it my best shot.
Honestly, one of the funniest stories I have from my time as a Yakuza goon, my own name for my job title because the other one was nonsense, was the time 2 guys tried to knock me out by hitting me in the head with a cinder block, which broke the cinder block, and all it really did was piss off the then sleep deprived, from jet lag, me. So I politely beat them like they owe me money and tied them up, bringing them to Mr. Yakuza. That's all I know.
That's all you know. That's all she wrote.
Those guys are probably dead.
There he is! Dad, over here! Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
They didn't make it. I don't know how to tell you this, but they didn't make it.
I'm pretty sure they're dead. But I do know for a fact that they're missing some face. Okay, so they took their pound of flesh. Got it.
Ah, okay.
So this is Coco-chan's dad. Unlike his space case of a daughter, he seems pretty buttoned up.
Gura-chan, this is my father.
Hello, I'm Coco's father. Pleased to meet you.
And this is the man I'm seeing, Goro Majima-san.
You know, now that I think about it, meeting a girl's dad for the first time is super important for a normal couple.
Yeah, you better do your best!
Yeah. This could end up making an impact on the rest of her life. Guess I better buckle down and get into this role properly. No different than at the Grand, right? First impression's key. What do I open up with? Yeah, pleased to meet you, sir. I'm Goro Majima.
Yeah, I figured as much, but I am I'm questioning that last one. Please make my miso soup every morning. What?
Yeah. Pleased to meet you, sir. I'm Goro Majima.
Dad looks like the guy who kept bringing me bowls of ramen during meetings, and I was told to sit on. I was just there for intimidation because no one else was eating and I didn't speak the language, so I had nothing to say. It's like, okay, you can't talk. Put food in your mouth.
Yeah, eat this ramen.
Here, look important. Look like you're here for a
Scary
reason.
eating ramen. Majima-kun, was it? I understand my daughter looks to you for a lot of support.
It was good ramen, though? Good. If it's a bad ramen, what are they doing?
Yeah. Sport? Oh no, in fact, it's quite the opposite. Coco-san has stood by me at every turn. Well, how courteous of you. Something that gets to me these days is an erosion of courtesy in today's youth. So many can't even manage a proper introduction. You seem different, Majima.
Oh, he's too proper. I don't like this guy. Your dad sucks.
Yeah.
The bowls were about 5 to 8 pounds of ramen, so finishing 2 or 3 over the course of a 2-hour meeting got through the probably through
this guy for a loop.
Jesus Christ, it's a lot of fucking ramen. That's right, Dad. Goro-chan's not like those stereotypical men.
Good. First impression went well. Playing the respectful type was a pretty slick move.
Oh, Jesus.
Stop sucking my dad.
I must say,
What?
I'm surprised. You really do exist.
Why are we sucking the dad?
Oh, God! You have no idea how that statement's gonna come into play.
Oh my God!
I beg your pardon?
Death, are we gonna end up leaving with the dad?
You'll see.
Death. What the fuck is gonna happen?
You'll see.
Oh no.
Well, my daughter described you as a man who's tall yet slender-waisted, sports an eye patch, has long hair tied back, and emits a deadly aura, not unlike a dagger's edge.
Why is that verbatim? I'm telling you, this is a ruse. They're just conning him out of dinner.
It feels like it.
It really does. Like,
I never imagined such a man could actually exist, yet here you are, in the flesh.
Death, have you watched Don Da Don yet?
I have not.
I need to watch it. Do you have Netflix?
I do not.
I don't blame you. It costs money, and they won't let me use my sister's account anymore. I bit the bullet. I do have the version with ads, though.
Oh, so that's the one that's a little less pricey?
Yeah, and it's really weird to me, because it's only one, 30-second ad at the very beginning of an episode, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
how much does it cost per month?
It's like $6.99. It's like half, a little more than half the cost. And I normally am like, ugh, ads. I was very reluctant to get it, but there was something I really wanted to watch. But the ads are not, the ads on YouTube are more invasive. The ads on Twitch are more invasive. I can sit through a 30-second ad at the start of something. It might be 30 seconds every hour, but that's still it's nothing.
That's still nothing, yeah. Right.
We were watching I think it was for Delicious in Dungeon. I think I bit the bullet for Delicious in Dungeon, and honestly, I don't regret it. I don't. It was good.
Yes, I watch all my anime on a totally legal site that is
wink,
totally
wonk.
legal.
Well, I don't know. I was going to intrude and say we should watch Don Da Don together.
Okay.
Because Joe's waiting on me to watch what he's watched so we can continue watching.
Okay.
Wow. Oh, you like One Piece too. Joe is really on a One Piece kick. Also, I'm going to be cosplaying Big Mom next year for ZenkaiCon. So I'm gonna be starting a Big Mom cosplay stream soon too. Mihawk's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Funny enough, the Yakuza were not the only people that I hung around with despite not speaking the language. I really got into blacksmithing while I was in Japan, so I did apprentice for about 6 months with a blacksmith in Kyoto where I was working and living. And I remember before I left, the guys kept jokingly calling me the Gaijin Samurai.
I'm looking at God King Pool's thing.
Okay.
Ooh. Blacksmithing is really cool. We were watching one of those shows for a while there. What was that one show? Fortune and Fire? Oh shit, I just skipped it. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Yes, I figured he was another figment of your overreactive imagination, so I'm really quite shocked.
Oh my god, what you think he was? An imaginary Actually, it was.
Yeah, probably. He probably did think that.
He's a husband, but he's your husband. I don't want to take that from you. Overactive imagination. Dad, I don't make things that often, do I? We're laughing. Haha, but it's true.
Well, they do seem to be on good terms, and her dad's a decent guy, too. Stern, but decent.
Yes, Majima-kun. Cocoa may have mentioned it already, but what line of work are you in again? My job, huh? Oh man, I think Cocoa mentioned that in the backstory she gave me.
Yep, I remember. The other two options, though.
Yeah. The middle one is technically true, and the third one used to be true.
I play with mouths. It would have been funny if Death went to Kyoto one of these days, and upon meeting a Yakuza, asked them if they knew a guy samurai who was one of the people I worked with. The Gaijin samurai. That would be cool.
Ooh.
Death, we gotta go to Japan. We gotta go to Japan.
I'm a dentist. I do want to go to Japan one day.
Right, me too.
Oh, yes, that's right. I heard you're a dentist.
I gotta bring like a spare suitcase so I can take home all the things.
I never would have guessed from your appearance. Not the face I'd expect from a dentist, to be frank. Yeah, crazy drilling accident 2 years ago.
Right? Like, way to judge, bro.
Yeah. I get told that often, yes. Yeah, see, there was an accident with a root canal.
You're being so rude to my girl-chan.
Ew, I'm just glad I remembered what Koro-chan told me in that hack job of a backstory.
It is a fucking hack job of a backstory.
Yeah. Incidentally, Majima-kun. Yes?
Can you do my root canal?
Yeah. Can you fucking fix my teeth? I was wondering, how did you come to meet Cocoa?
Yeah, during the ad, we were talking about that. Me and Joe were talking about how we needed to find a hot springs that allows for tattoos. Apparently
I
there
did
are...
not know that.
Apparently there are more now that accept that. I also know that there are some places that don't allow foreigners either, regardless if you have tattoos or not.
Well, see, the thing is that tattoos are usually the sign of Yakuza.
Yeah, I'm aware, but like, I don't think they're gonna make an exception for me just because I'm fat, white, and in a wheelchair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They probably have like they're probably sticklers for the rules.
Possibly. I had the advantage of 4 Yakuza people to intimidate them into letting me in. Oh, that's awesome.
That's all I need. I just need one Yakuza friend to like beat the shit out of somebody so I can go take a bath. I mean,
Yeah.
crazier things have happened, right?
Yeah. In this game, sure.
Oh yeah.
How did you come to meet Cocoa?
I don't think she talked about how we met, but only how long we've been together. Oh, well that's...
I didn't ask you. I asked Majima-kun.
I skipped it. Oh no. Oh no. I got butterfingers.
Oh, she was like, that's,
Ah, okay. So he interrupted her. You gotta play
Yeah.
some Call of Duty? Do it! Do the duty! But...
Tell me, Majima-kun, how did you two get to know each other? What the? He's prying pretty deep. Is he onto us? Gotta explain how I actually met Cocoa-chan in a way that won't make him more suspicious. The answer is we sat next to each other at a movie.
The last one is...
I mean, the top one is technically the truth.
The top one is the truth, the bottom one is, like, batshit insane.
Yeah,
What
that's
in the
an
anime is
trope.
this?
We happened to sit next to each other at a movie theater. That's how we met.
Yeah, he does like watching movies.
Yep. At a movie. Come to think of it, Cocoa did mention that you enjoy movies.
yes, like I said, Cocoa-chan just happened to sit next to me. That flick was a real tearjerker. So I offered her my handkerchief, and the rest is history.
I cannot imagine this man crying in a movie theater.
No, I can't.
Yeah, that's how it went.
He's insinuating she was crying and he offered his handkerchief.
Okay, whatever. I don't know. It sounded to me at first like he was crying too.
While I was there,
wait, there
one
are
of them
female
was
Yakuza
named
members?
Yuki. Yeah, of course there are.
I would have thought, oh, I don't know. Japan can be a little dated in some of their like ideologies, so I wasn't sure that was a thing. Like maybe they have like wives or like sisters or something that are like honored and revered, but I wasn't sure there would be like actual women who participate.
Yeah, they're rarer than the male ones, but they do exist. It's just like Yakuza respect two things: power and strength. And if you got a lot of money and a lot of power, it doesn't matter what your gender is.
Fair enough.
If you got a lot of strength and can kick ass, doesn't matter what your gender is.
It's not gonna be me. Just gonna be me. I'm not smart either, so I don't even have mental fortitude. But yeah, that's how it went. Amazing, Gura-chan. I can't believe you came up with such a... I remember it like it was 15 minutes ago. It was so romantic.
Well, what a fortuitous meeting.
She's gonna blow the damn cover.
I'm just glad she didn't meet her boyfriend in any places she shouldn't be. Like a porno theater. That would be weird.
The red light district where we are? Why are we having dinner in the red light district?
I mean, there are family restaurants in there.
I guess.
Yeah.
One of them did the tattoo in your arm. Oh, that's really cool. Of course not! You lived in the red light district? Was there as much trash on the street as it is in this game? There's so much trash in the street. Gura-chan is a proper and decent man.
There. I wove in Koro-chan's backstory and came up with a tale that rings true enough.
Good job, Majima-chan.
Majima-kun, I'm gonna put it to you straight. What is it about my daughter that you find attractive?
Why? That's a weird fucking question, my guy. Dad! Why would you put him on the spot like that?
I'm sorry, Kokoa, but I'm just so worried about you.
Actually, he's confused
He's
as
absolutely
to why
right.
a man is interested in his dumbass daughter.
He's actually right to be worried about her because she seems like a fucking space cadet.
She really is.
You're still so innocent, like a child. It keeps me awake at night, worried about whether or not you'll even manage to live a proper and prosperous family life. If there's a man who would love you and treat you well, why, I would give him my blessing for marriage this instant.
Oh. Dad,
That's why I need to ask, Majima-kun, what about Kokoa do you find attractive?
her big, innocent doe eyes. I don't know. You liked it there because you weren't the center of attention as often. The prostitutes you lived near made excellent food in exchange for you roughing up the guys that got you rough. That's her big ass!
He's looking at my soul here.
Food is a good trade.
His daughter's future is on the line. I don't like tricking him, but I told Koro-chan I'd go along with this. Gotta find a good reason why I'd find her so attractive. Alright, I'm gonna ask, which one do you think is the correct one?
It's the omelet rice.
It's not.
It's
not?
The third one. Why they gotta trick us like that? I mean, I guess that is a silly answer, even if he does love her omelet rice. That can't be the only
even if that was part of the backstory. But, like, how would you feel if someone, like, told you that they only liked your friend for, like, the dishes they cooked for them?
I mean, yeah, but I prefer that to innocent and childlike. That sounds creepy.
That sounds creepy, but the way Majima explains it is a little bit better.
Cat gets it. It's fucking creepy. The Yakuza and I were all for me making this arrangement with the prostitutes because they ran the prostitution. That makes sense.
Yeah, the Yakuza probably ran the ring and made sure any of the guys who got too rough with the girls, they learned not to do that pretty fucking quick.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, it was less about defending the women and probably more about like don't damage the merchandise.
Yeah, that's why I like that other answer too.
Yeah. I actually kind of like how innocent and childlike she is.
Creepy. Really?
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 Wouldn't you consider that her poorer qualities? Wait for it. Suppose most would. But seeing her loose in the world, it makes me want to keep her safe and protected. You know what I'm saying? I love her for who she is, and that means I'll take the bad with the good. Majima-kun.
God, you're gonna make this man cream his pants. You need to calm down, sir. You can only impress him so much. I think the omelet's the best choice.
I want you to remember you said that.
Death, what is happening here?
You're willing to accept everything about my daughter, even where she falls short. I think I can trust a man like you with my Kokoa.
Dad!
Damn, this got real touching all of a sudden.
My fifis! Ugh!
My beefies.
Would you two excuse me? I need to go wash up.
Sure, honey. Don't fall in.
Oh, he got jokes.
Oh, wait, it's just them now.
Oh, this is getting a little,
Oh,
interesting.
boy. Wait a sec. With her powder and nose, it's kinda just me and her old man. Damn, awkward.
It is.
Majima-kun. Yes? I have no idea who you really are, but thank you for playing along with my daughter's lie.
Yo!
Eh? Her lie? Just come clean. It really doesn't matter which one you answer.
Okay.
You knew all along. Guess the jig is up. Of course. I could see through the two of you from the moment I sat down. Was it that obvious? If you knew from the start, what gave us away? I could tell just by how my daughter was acting. I wasn't her father for all those years for nothing.
Fair enough.
And why you go along with this dumb charade for so long? Coco was so desperate to convince me. It's my fault she tried a stunt like this, isn't it?
Yeah, kinda.
I'm sure it's because I kept pushing her into dates with all those suitors I arranged for her.
If you know better, then why did you do it?
Wait for it. You know your daughter well. You saw right through her. I lost my wife when Coco was still an infant. I raised her alone without anyone else's help.
Joe, don't leave your energy drink tonight.
I tried to raise her well, so no one would look down on her for not having a mother. If I'd known but I know I've been overly protective of her. I can see now that she's capable of standing on her own 2 feet. I've got to stop telling my daughter to do this or that. No more pushing her to meet potential suitors.
Killing my
She's her own
model,
woman.
Joe.
It's time I learned to let go.
Okay, this is pretty touching. This is nice.
Yeah. But the truth is, there's another reason I went along with your little charade. What's that? Someday, my daughter's gonna bring a real boyfriend to meet me. And I thought this might be good practice.
Aww.
Practice, huh? Thanks to you, I've got a good idea of what to expect when the time comes. I think I'll manage.
That's so sweet.
Bah. It still ain't a good feeling to spend so much time lying to someone who knew it from the start. But I gotta tell you, I think avoiding an arranged marriage wasn't the only reason Coco-chan pulled this stunt. What do you mean? I think she was trying to show you don't need to worry about her so much.
Worry? Yeah. Pretty plain to see she's the source of a bundle of your worries.
Wah.
I think she wanted to reassure you that she's capable of looking after herself. She wanted to prove to you that she can manage her own affairs, like getting married.
Aww. Sorry, I'm back. I hope that wasn't too awkward for you guys. Did you even break the silence?
Welcome back, Coco-chan. So, listen, your dad actually Majima-kun. Yeah? Cocoa, you've done well finding this man. I had nothing to worry about after all.
Aw. God. I know, right? Gura-chan's a super guy, so this means you'll stop trying to set me up, right?
Yes, I can see there's no longer any need.
It is a little late. It's almost 10.
Yeah, it is.
Did get set up on a blind group date? They do
Yeah.
that. They do that over there. They'll like go out with they'll have like whole groups of single people.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Really, do we speak the same? We did bond over being foreigners in Japan, and we both spoke English, so it was nice. Oh, that's
It's
cool.
nice. At least you had someone to talk to for once.
Yeah. Yeah, like, some people get dragged into group dates because they needed, like, another person to even out the groups.
Mm-hmm. Really? Awesome. Awesome.
It's been an awfully long day. I'm heading back to my hotel.
Damn, you came all the way out and stayed in a hotel for this ruse?
Yep.
Okay. I'll walk you back, Dad. Okay. Woo,
She
6
was
foot.
Oh, she was modest 6 foot.
Tall.
Nice.
Tall,
Tall lady. That's
all
nice.
lady. Like all lady here. Girl-chan, thank you so much for being my boyfriend, even for just a few minutes today, girl. We had a whole ass dinner. What do you mean a few minutes? You're a crazy good actor, by the way. I almost forgot you were actually my boyfriend for a second there.
Glad I could do you a solid.
Let me give you this then. Thank you very much.
You got,
oh, fuck yeah! We got Sprite!
You got a Sprite belt.
Oh, thank you for the head pets. I like my head pets. Even when my model breaks a little bit. Whatever the case, I think I'm free from my dad hounding me to meet his suitors. What a relief. A relief.
That's good.
Yeah, well, I have to walk my dad to his hotel.
Yep.
Dude, he's just standing there the whole time hearing this. He's just
When
listening.
you get a real boyfriend, you better do a proper introduction so he doesn't have to worry about you.
I'll try. Bye now.
Coco, I forgot something. Give me just a moment.
Oh no, is this where it gets weird? Okay.
I don't know. Is
Do
it?
not grab him by the balls.
Huh? Something wrong? Majima-kun, there's one last thing I need to say. Eh? What's that? Majima-kun, I'm glad I got to talk to you. You went through all the bother of pretending to be my daughter's boyfriend just for my sake. You're a good man.
Why are your eyes so wide?
I was trying to put one past you. Don't give me too much credit. No, not at all. That's why. I'd like it if you would be my daughter's real boyfriend.
Dude, come on, bro. You were so close.
It gets weirder. Excuse me?
It was so close. They were so close.
It gets weirder.
Oh no. Oh no.
What did you say?
Cat said no.
I said, won't you please ask my daughter out for real? Consider it for a moment, please? What in the fresh hells makes you think that's a good idea? Because you're the ideal man. I think I could safely entrust her future to you. Whoa, slow down. I'm having trouble believing my ears.
Oh my god.
You start by just pretending, that's fine. Heck, if she won't take you, I will.
No! No!
Remember the things you said, Trix?
Oh no!
Remember the things you said about the dad?
Oh!
Remember, Trix?
Oh no!
Remember?
Daddy, no! Daddy, please!
I think you did.
Yeah, Dad, what's this all about?
Give me a break, you two. This is why I'm single.
Kat, you have to prove to him that you're not a psychopath. You,
Okay.
did pretty well facing some amateur sumo wrestlers. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
Okay, I guess you can walk towards the line of takoyaki now. I guess, if you want. Fucking, or we could go check to see if the arcade girl has updated. I don't know. I don't know what to do after all of that.
Okay, girl, where are you? Wait, no. First, we need Sparkle. Stop touching me! Quit
Walk
tickling
around
me!
the sign.
He's tickling me. I'm struggling here.
There you go.
Got a card.
We got a card for the card pervert.
Weird pervert, man. You fought the sumo wrestlers because one of the boys that was escorting me around tried to shake down a sumo school? Oh my goodness. Bro. Alright, little girl. You ready to talk? Oh, yeah.
Check it out. A little kid all by her lonesome.
Oh, that's nasty, bro. You have depression,
Oh, it's about to
anxiety,
get worse.
ADHD, autism. Yeah, relatable.
Eh? She ain't old enough to hustle. Keep your eyes peeled, would you? No, fool. Grab the kid, shake down the parents. Easy come, easy go.
Oh, Lord.
Pretty smart. Could be some nice cash in that. Let's do it.
These fucking creeps. These creepy
Yeah,
ass
here
dudes.
we go.
Ugh, here we go.
There you go.
Here we fucking go again.
Alright, beat the shit out of these assholes.
Alright, come here. Let me smack you around with my bat.
Got something real nice for you, little girl. Come over here.
Why you got?
Gross, no.
Why you gotta say it like that?
No. Oh, no.
Don't wanna. Oh.
Little fucking brat. You're coming one way or the other.
No, leave me alone.
See? What I tell you.
None of them are that stupid. For real, dude. Like, come on.
Oh, these aren't Yakuza, God King. These are just punks.
These are just assholes. This is Crude Man and Butt Boy. I don't know. I don't know what the other guy was called.
Who the hell are you, her old man?
What's it to you, fucker?
Nobody special. Just looking out for a stranger. Stranger? Then mind your own business. Don't go getting any ideas, or we'll make sure you regret it. Crass man, that's who he is.
Crass Man. That was
Yeah.
Ass Man. Wait, what'd you say, Joe? Are you drinking it right now? Did you fart? Joe, don't fucking lie to me, you sick bastard. I hate you. It was the cat. Yeah, sure.
Poops is right here.
Ashy,
Nick,
Ashy poops. Don't even. You gave her a bath. Where is she?
next time you ought to take my advice and head straight home, kiddo.
She ain't even close enough, bro. You make me sick. Oh man, my leg itches.
This is a dangerous town full of scumbags.
Her?
Scumbags? Nobody calls me scum.
Oh shit, you triggered him. Oh, she be stinky, but no, I'm not gonna let him blame this on her. He knows what he did. He came and sat behind me and laid me out. Like, he knows what he did. Whee! Oh fuck!
E rapidly. There you go.
Stabbed me.
Yeah.
Motherfucker stabbed me in the butt.
He stabbed you in the chest.
That's
Pretty sure it was around the kidney.
He stabbed me in the butt. What are you talking about?
Sure it wasn't you, Trixie.
Oh no, it was not me. I'm honest.
It was a fatality in one from the Mortal Kombats by splitting a bottle full of sake onto a person and then throwing a light. What the fuck?
Oh my god. That's right, ass man. Run away.
Give me a break, good for nothing losers.
Thanks, sir.
Sir, I'm only 24, you know.
Yeah, that's still extremely older than her. Being stabbed in the kidney, while painful, is not always lethal. I mean, you do have 2 kidneys. Unless you, like, bleed out profusely, I imagine you can survive.
Anyway, as I was saying, why didn't you head on home?
Okay.
Something wrong? You and your mom fighting?
Just some second and third degree burns. Nah, it wasn't serious. Just some second and third degree burns. No big deal.
That's still a crime.
No.
Then what's up?
The doll.
Oh, the doll, huh?
The red chestnut. The squirrel.
Chestnut the squirrel. You mean the red squirrel prize in the UFO catcher?
Oh, kid, you have found the wrong person.
I think you actually have one.
Oh, do I?
I think.
It's only assault at this point. Wah.
You want that?
Yeah.
Sure, your dad will buy you one if you ask nice. What?
Don't have a dad.
Oh. Sorry, Scamp.
It's okay. I'm fine.
Still, no point hanging around here. You can't get it yourself, can ya?
It's okay. I don't need it. But it's so cute. I just like to look at it.
Yeah? You're a strange kid. Alright, I gotta get going.
Okay.
Okay, you can give her the doll to try and get her to go home.
Oh.
Yeah.
You had a program where they would walk kids from school back home to make sure they were safe. Aww. That's so sweet.
Yeah, like I said, the Yakuza have a sense of honor. Like, they are a criminal organization who works outside the law, but at the same time...
Squirrels.
Oh, you don't... Yeah, you don't have the red chestnut
I
squirrel.
have
You
a
might want
fish,
Yeah.
the axolotl family, a chicken,
Okay,
and the cat.
the chicken is actually one of the ones she's gonna want. It's the last one, but yeah, we'll wanna go get the red chestnut squirrel.
Oh my god. Here we go.
Are you ready?
No.
This is gonna be even harder for you to do with the keyboard.
Oh no. Oh, this is gonna suck.
All right, look for a machine that has the red chestnut squirrel. Okay, that one has it. Go ahead and all right, insert a coin.
Oh, it's E?
Yeah.
Oh, this is, I have to hold it back. Okay.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a bust, guys. This is just a test thing. I gotta learn the controls for this.
Okay, it knocked one on its
Okay,
side, so that might
we'll
be a
take
little
it.
easier.
The original Yakuza that we have now came from a result of the black market and was necessary to support Japan after the bombings of Nagasaki. That makes sense.
Try to grab it at the base of its tail.
Okay. Come here, little dude. Fuck
oh,
you.
okay. Well, you at least got it away from the blue one. By the way, you'll want to get a blue one as well.
Oh, okay. Alright. Sorry guys, we might be here a minute. I'll warn you now, I'm not good at the crane game.
She really isn't.
I'm bad at it.
Luckily, we've got a lot of money, so...
I'm trying my best here, okay? Following your instructions to the best of my ability.
And you didn't get kicked out, God King?
What?
I imagine you would just get kicked out of the arcade. Yeah, because that's just cheating.
You can't just cheat like that, man.
I don't think that was back far enough. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try and help you with this. Okay. Hold down the mouse button until I tell you to stop.
Alright.
And go. Stop. Go. Stop.
Alright. This has become a how well can I follow instructions stream. Motherfucker!
Kinda, yeah.
Ah. Baby God King was an asshole. I'm just kidding.
Kinda. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, go. Stop. Go. Stop.
Come here, little squirrely whirly man. We did it!
Okay,
Molly
let's try to
quit
get the blue
squeezing
one.
my butt meats.
Okay.
Right.
Next.
So we're
Okay,
gonna
yeah.
need the blue one anyway, right?
Only tap the E button. Just tap it. Okay. Now go. Stop.
It's an accurate statement. When I was 13, I stole an entire McDonald's ice cream machine. What the fuck was wrong with you, bro?
Oh.
He's throwing it
That's
back for
okay.
us.
Okay. Okay. Just tap it ever so slightly. Now go. Stop.
God King, I don't know why you'd want a McDonald's ice cream machine. It's not like they work. There ain't no fucking way that worked!
Let's go. Okay, we've got all the stuffed animals we need.
Okay, that was,
Alright.
she only wants 3?
Yeah, she should only want 3. Okay, so quit the machine, go give her the red one.
Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. This one had ice cream for 5 days. That's a miracle. That is a miracle machine.
Okay. Go ahead and... What? Still staring at that Chestnut the Squirrel doll?
Huh? Oh, yeah, I am.
I have one of those red chestnut squirrels now. Dolls now. Maybe I ought to give it to her.
Young God King when it ran out of ice cream, though. Oh. Oh. Throw it in the junkyard. Bruh.
Yeah,
Bruh.
fine here.
He really didn't want to give it up. He's so greedy. Wow, it's a red chestnut the squirrel. It's adorable.
Yeah, well, it ain't exactly my thing, so why don't you keep it?
Why are you lying, Majima? Really? Thanks, sir. I never got a present from anyone besides my mom before. Best day ever.
That's so? Well, glad you like it. Now, will you get on home?
Yeah. Whenever a machine broke, you took it to the junkyard. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much how I thought too. Yeah, I'm gonna tell my mom all about it. Thanks, sir. Bye. Bye.
Boy, that little scamp's a handful. But it feels kind of nice to make her day like that.
Just a little
Okay,
kid.
now we can try and reset her by hitting another side quest.
She's just a little kid. She's just a baby.
Yeah. You want to go on the other side of the street? Yeah. No, not the other way. The other side of the street.
Ah! Men! In black!
Men in black. Oh man, it's the MIB. They've come to erase our brains.
Yo, what the fuck just happened?
Did your stream crash? Did your game crash?
Everything minimized.
Oh, okay.
Why? I don't know, guys. I ain't touched nothing. But OBS
You
minimized
keep clicking
too.
off the game.
Where is my mouse in this equation? That's what I need to figure out.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently moving the directional keys when he's swinging like changes his like
Yeah, it
direction.
changes his combos.
That is a little easier to do on the keyboard.
Okay, look, you gotta look at that line there that you just passed.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Huh?
Is this takoyaki?
Yeah. I'm all about whatever that smell is. I went in on that.
I do too. Share, Majima. Share.
Place is pretty popular, ain't it? Huh. Must mean it's good stuff.
Hey, excuse me.
Oh, God. Whoa!
What a cunt.
Did she seriously just cut in line? It ain't right. Yeah, it ain't.
You think just because you got purple hair, you can bully people around?
Hey, lady, no cuts. Get in line like a normal person.
Huh? You weren't even in the line.
Come on, lady, you got your eyes checked lately? I was standing in line right here.
Hold on.
What?
He got botted. Got one more eye than you, Sonny. If anyone ain't seeing things straight, it's you. Oh, she's ableist and mean.
Oh,
Dad,
God.
look at the background!
She brought me outside and had me walking around yelling random phrases in Japanese. Apparently it is saying, "Leave my home or I shall kill you where you stand," every night until he finally bought the place and told me I could stop.
Dad, look at the background.
God. This guy's like, I want nothing to do with this, but I can't run away. Oh, God.
He's just running. Oh, God. Pretty sure it was compelling all the side quests in Japan. Completing all the side quests. I can't read, bro.
Yeah.
Yo.
What a stubborn old hag.
She is definitely an old fucking hag right there. That is a cunt.
Hey, come on. Can't you take this elsewhere? I'm trying to run a business
Japan
here.
speed runner. See? You went and got us scolded. How embarrassing.
We didn't do shit. You weren't trying to cut. This never would have happened.
Oh, so scary.
Oh, that's a real pain. What's my move here?
Punch the old lady. I don't
What
think
are you gonna do?
I
What are you gonna do, Trix?
I don't know. I don't know, cause like, nah, man, I don't like this bitch. I don't like this bitch. Violence. God King wants me to choose violence. We shall choose
that's up to you.
violence.
You ain't gonna see
Just
reason, better just
relocate her.
relocate her to
Hey!
the moon.
What do you think you're doing?
Well, you cut in line and then you refuse to move.
Pervert! This perv's trying to grope me.
Huh?
Rope ya? I wouldn't touch you with a cattle prod.
Help me! He's a pervert!
Hold on now. Stop making a damn scene. Mama, what's a pervert?
Don't point, Hirokun. I don't want anything to do with this horrible man.
Hey, that ain't true. Hirokun, your mama's got the wrong idea. Why do you care?
Right, you don't know these people.
Yeah.
This is why violence is always the answer.
Ugh, treacherous old dingbat. Wait, what the?
What?
Hey! Where do you think you're going? Man, I'd drop it if I were you. She's pretty infamous arbitrarian in these parts. Arbitrarian? The hell's that?
I mean, she's a nosy old fucking bitch.
You ever heard of an old lady called an Obasan? Well, she's like that, multiplied by a tank battalion. Hence, arbitrarian, a battle axe, never been as sharp or as deadly as her.
Hello, welcome in. Oh no, you only got a rock. I'm sorry.
Battle axe? She's just an old lady with terrible taste when you get right down to it.
She's a right cunt.
Yeah. Says you, trust me. You don't want to get involved. Underestimate the Osakan arbitrarian at your own peril. The arbitrarian, huh? You'll get yours next time, lady.
Do we get to beat the shit out of the old lady?
I mean, we'll see. Anyways, let's go check on the kid again.
That's what God King wants. He wants
Is violence against the elderly?
violence.
Same. I wish to violence the elderly too.
She didn't come back.
Maybe going inside will make her respawn.
Okie dokie. We'll try it.
Yeah. Pop in, walk around the arcade, pop back out.
Hi, lady. I want to play what they're playing. I don't want to play
Unfortunately,
the
you
only
can't
3
interact.
games they let me play.
You can't interact with those
It's not
cabinets,
fair.
unfortunately.
I need more cabinets to play. God, look at the fucking hype jar.
God, that poor jar.
Haha!
Oh, look, there she is.
Hello, little girl.
Huh?
It's that girl from the other day.
You mean 5 minutes ago?
Yeah, just talk to her again. You back, kiddo? I told you it's dangerous to hang around here alone.
Hey, sir.
How about you drop the sir thing? Now that what's got you hanging around here now?
You were catching panty thieves? Is that really a real problem over there?
Sometimes. It's a problem anywhere.
I've still never actually encountered anybody having their underwear stolen. I don't live in Japan, so I don't know, how prominent it is over there. But I feel like over here, how often does that happen? At least I've never experienced it. There's a guy stealing underwear, jerking off into them, and putting he was putting them back.
We don't need to know that, thanks.
Why was he? Nah, bro. That's next level nasty. It's bad enough you're taking them and what you do with them after you take them, but don't put them back.
Yeah.
Some sensibility, please.
Come on now, speak up when somebody asks you a question.
I'm looking at the blue chestnut squirrel doll.
What?
You decided to intervene. Good. Good. Beat that ass. Beat that ass. They deserved it.
Now it's the blue one you got your eyes on?
Yeah, the blue chestnut is super cute too.
If you say so. So you got your heart set on that now?
No, you got me one the other day, and I'm happy to have it. I'm not
Other
greedy.
day? It was 5 minutes ago.
5 minutes ago. I don't have a daddy. My mommy is at work all the time, and she says there's no money for frivolous things. So I just wanted to come look at it.
Well, you ought to head home soon. Don't want your mom to worry about you, do you?
I know. I just want to look at it a little longer, and then I'll go home.
Every second you stick around this part of town, you risk too much, kiddo. Only way to keep her safe is to grab that blue squirrel when I get the chance.
We
Luckily, we have one.
already have one.
Yeah. Still staring at that little chestnut the squirrel doll?
Huh? Oh, yeah, I am.
I have one of those blue chestnut the squirrel dolls. Maybe I ought to give it to her.
Give it to her. Give her the woods.
Look, here's a blue chestnut the squirrel.
Oh, your mom
Yeah,
was a preschool teacher? Or was your dad a preschool teacher? I guess it could be either way. Wow! It's a blue chestnut the squirrel. Your mom. That's pretty cool.
You take care of him. Squirrels ain't my thing.
Really? I can't believe it. Everyone's gonna be so jealous when I show them at school tomorrow.
Jealous of that little thing?
I got botted again. I don't actually care.
Okay.
My bot does, though. It's a cunt of us are. Doesn't like the word cunt. I like the word cunt, though. It's a great word.
Yeah, the other kid... Oh, that's
Yeah,
you, sorry.
the other kids always talked about their daddies buying them dolls, and they show them to each other. I get left out whenever that happens. But now I have something to talk about.
I'm glad for you,
Aw.
Scamp, but I ain't your daddy.
I wouldn't really know, but don't daddies buy things for kids?
I suppose it depends, but that's a dad thing, yeah.
I keep forgetting you have 16 siblings. So crazy. I knew it. So if I did have a daddy, he'd be kind of like you, right? Oh no. Oh no.
Huh? How you figure?
We're in too deep, and you only fucking 26? That's too damn many. Because you gave me 2 dolls.
I did, but...
I won't lie to you, it sounds like your daddy needs to keep it in his pants. See? And you look old enough to be a daddy, so you're just like a daddy to me.
How old How old's this kid think I am?
I wish you could be my real daddy, sir.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You know that ain't gonna happen, right?
He needs to be castrated. Well, can I just call you daddy then?
I
I don't know about that one. Oh,
Say
no.
what?
Oh,
I mean, this...
You don't want me to.
I mean, this is the 80s, so it doesn't have that connotation.
Right. It's not creepy yet. It's
Yeah.
not schmexual yet.
Yeah, my choices are Sir or Daddy, huh? But not too fond of either. But what's the right play here? Do whatever you want.
Does it matter?
Not really. Just go with whatever.
I don't know. I don't mind playing daddy. Like, I'm aware of the times.
Yeah.
It's not creepy. I get it.
Yeah. Call me whatever you want. I don't care.
Ow. Really? Yay! I like daddy best then.
I'm getting some mixed feelings here, kiddo. You best get back to your mom.
Okay, bye, daddy.
You take care on your way home.
I mean, he has been really sweet to her. I need to
Yeah.
stand up to those mean old bullies.
Yeah.
You want to walk
Okay.
around the arcade again, or?
I think either or. I think walking in the arcade is the thing that actually respawns her.
Okay, well then we'll just
So
do that
you might
again.
want to try. Yeah.
Doot, 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 doot.
I mean, unless you want to go back and deal with the Obitrarian again.
This is the creator's response to all the fans calling him daddy.
Yeah. Honestly, feels like it.
I need a daddy. What is happening?
What is what?
My freaking the calendar just popped up from my taskbar. Oh,
Okay.
it's my mouse, but it's not staying on the game. It's going wherever the fuck it wants.
Okay.
And it's tripping me out every now and then. I would like
So
a
you're-
daddy of the sugar variety. I would like a Splenda daddy because I'm pre-diabetic and I don't like having sex with people.
Oh, there she is again.
Hello.
It's that little girl standing all by herself again. Which one is it now?
That's the
Scared
proper
the shit
response.
out of her. Didn't really get into. I didn't understand the rules of the pachinko parlors. Ooh, but you did have to shake down a few assholes and took out loans and didn't pay them. Daddy,
Yeah.
you scared me. Oh, I
You
just
really
wanna
got
keep
an
'em
eye for those
company.
dolls, don't you?
Yeah, company. In the nude.
Probably.
Alone. I don't know what you're into, so like that's about all I got.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the whole experience will be custom to you. You should go Eepies then. You should go Eepies if you're Eepies.
Yeah.
It's just the pink bunchan looks really
Oh,
pretty.
we needed the pink one. Shit, we do
fuck.
need to go back in.
Remember one guy who got approximately 137,000 in debt? Yeah, I know
equals
the
what we- yeah.
yen conversion.
It's not the exact rate, but it's a pretty good
it's
estimate.
pretty close.
Yeah.
Similarly, I know what the Canadian rate is, kinda, in Europe,
Yeah.
kinda.
Pretty or not, didn't I tell you how dangerous this area can get? You're not looking for trouble, are you?
No, I'm sorry.
Here we go again. Pink Bunchan, huh? I'll see if I can get her one. Okay,
Alright,
Trix.
we're gonna try. Well, we did good last time. We didn't
Yep.
spend 30 minutes in the arcade.
Yeah.
We did okay.
Yeah, okay.
It's gonna be
Let's
okay.
do it then.
It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, oh hey, there's some Bunchans right there in the same machine. Okay, so we need a pink one. There's a pink one right in the front there. Alright,
E.
alright. Go. Stop. Go. Stop.
Look at the little green hat. It's so cute. I kind of want one. No, you little floppy bastard!
Almost. Okay. Let's try again.
My eyeball
Alright,
is sticky.
go.
Hold on.
Oh, you're what?
My eyeball is goopy and itchy.
Okay.
I had to scritch it. I had to do a little scritchy scratch. Now you know why I had a bad habit of smashing through these. No!
These are actually kind of easy. It's just tricks to...
I just suck, dude.
Okay, go. Stop. Just tap it.
Come here, little fat chicken. No! We
Ah,
were so
son of a
close. Are
bitch.
you fucking kidding me? We were so close to the fat chicken.
Okay. Go. Stop. Go. Stop.
I wonder if that will chicken. Good night, God King. Thank you for hanging out with us. Bro, for real?
Night, Guide King.
It didn't even do squat. Oh my god, my eye.
I
Bruh.
really wish I could just take control.
I know. It would be so cool if we could just, like, give you the controls for a minute.
Go. Stop. Just tap it.
I want some chicken tonight.
Please, 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 please. Yes! Yes! Let's fucking go. Okay. We can get the fuck out of here.
I bit too deeply into my finger. I'm bleeding.
Why did you bite your finger?
Because I have an anxiety disorder. Ow. Oh, that's...
You have any band-aids?
I do, but they're in the bathroom. I just want to stop the bleeding right now. It's fine. I didn't realize it was gonna cut that deep.
Okay.
I have dry skin on my finger, and oops. And I bit it, and I just took it too far.
What, you still staring at that Bun-chan doll?
Huh? Yeah, I am.
I have one of those, Mom. Maybe I ought to give it to her. There you go. Here you go. A bouncy little Bun-chan. Hand it over the Bun-chan, the Java Sparrow, pink version. Okay.
Wow, a real pink Bun-chan. Thank you so much.
Say, how come you like dolls so much?
I can answer. Oh, I'm just all
Don't.
alone when I'm at home. Having my squirrels around makes me feel like I have friends over. That's why dolls are the best. Oh my god, why is this so relatable to me?
Yeah, that's nice.
And now Bun-chan gets to join the family. Thanks for everything, Daddy. I'm gonna take such good care of him.
Still not comfortable with her calling him daddy.
It's a personal hang up. I need
Yeah.
to just get over myself. It feels weird. every
Yeah,
time she
now
says
off
it.
you go, back to your mom.
Okay, bye-bye.
Maybe now the tea party's complete, no reason for her to hang around here, I hope.
Is she done, or do we have to do one more?
There is one more event, but it's not getting a doll for her.
Oh, is walking back in gonna trigger her, though?
It should. Yeah, if it's triggered it every other time, it should this time, too.
Okay. Oh, this is awkward.
Drink water, you dehydrated bitch!
Okay.
What?
I got my finger wrapped in, like, a little piece of paper towel. And,
Okay.
like, it feels really, really, awkward holding the mouse. Now I just need to
Trix,
behave.
go
and
get a
not...
Band-Aid.
I'll be okay. I gotta take a sippy. We gotta hydrate before we dehydrate.
Chat, will you tell her to go get a Band-Aid? Please.
It's not bleeding anymore. It's gonna be okay. I'll just pick at the Band-Aid anyway. Or the Band-Aid will cover the rest of the dry skin that I'm probably gonna want to chew on later.
Okay.
You should see my nails. They're atrocious.
Mine are too.
Chewing is like my worst anxious habit.
We need to get you like a mouth guard that you can chew on.
Sorry, I mentioned chewing my nails, and now I gotta chew one.
Okay. Game though.
Girls, why are you running? Are you sillies? Are you silly girls? Yeah, that one, that emote's Ashy. Ashy had a bath today because she's stinky. Also, like, looking around, seeing if there's, like, a shiny. Because I think I found one of those cards in one of these arcades before.
Yeah, I think it was this arcade specifically.
Oh. No, I'm saying like, what if they're also in other arcades?
Okay, well, no, I mean it was this specific arcade. Sniffle. Huh? What the? It's that doll girl bawling her eyes out. What's the matter, scamp? Huh?
What the fuck?
What is this? The doll I gave you got all messed up. Who did this? I want names. Yeah, Majima's pissed.
My mom! My mom!
Wait.
My mom's gonna get killed!
What?
Ooh, Mate? The scary men who come to take money showed up, but this time they took her away.
And they did this to your doll, huh? Do you have any idea where they took your mom?
Okay, look, it's one thing you're shaking people down for money because they owe you money. Why the fuck you tear up this little girl's doll?
Yeah, that just seems like a
That's
dick
just
move.
mean, dude.
Yeah.
Down by the river, I think.
All right. Come on, kiddo.
I did it again. I clicked off. The girls
We gotta
are
bust a move.
zooming. Bane, why are you zooming? You zip, 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 zoom. Vroom, 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 vroom. The cars are racing. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Stop it. I already paid you back everything I borrowed.
What are you talking about, you doozy cow? We lent you 1,000,000 yen, remember?
That's quite a bit. A diamond! Good job, Watchdog. But I paid it all back by the due date.
And are you really that dense? You ain't paid a drop of the interest yet. By my calculations, that's about 13 million yen left to pay, and we want it back now. So
Wow.
she's 1,300% interest?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Fucking scam artist.
13 million? I could never.
Yeah, guess you leave us no choice then. You're young enough still. Should earn us plenty of cash out on the street.
Bean! She's so silly. No.
And I know plenty of sickos who'd pay top dollar for that
hell
little kid
no.
you got. Oh, beat the fuck out of them.
I'm disgusted. Wait, you can't.
Those are the terms of the deal. You work for us until every last yen is paid back. Got it. Your fat brat's gonna fetch a pretty price too. Probably bring in more than you.
That's nasty. I don't even think about that. That's nasty. Leave her alone, my daughter. She's the only family I have left. Please, at least spare her. Please.
Hey, get her out of here. The kid will be out front at that arcade like usual. I'll go scoop her up.
Hey.
Gotcha. Oh, no need for that.
Huh? Daddy's here.
And who are you?
Nut! No!
You are here to give us lip about the way we do business, are ya?
You're about to pawn off an elementary girl to dudes.
Yeah.
You deserve
Yeah, we're
this.
here to beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't give a flying shit about your business. You can do whatever the hell you want. Then you're smarter than you look. How about you leave the kid and scram then?
Blech.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. See, there are two types of people in this world that really set me off. Huh? Dipshits who tear up dolls that I went through a lot of trouble to get a hold
You
of.
really did. I struggled.
And fuckwits who prey on defenseless women
What you
because it makes
doing?
them feel big.
What you doing, you zoomins? You zoomies, come here. we're playing some Yakuza 0. My cat just came over and I got to give her some kisses on her tummy because she's so sweet. She's got the zoomies. But yeah, we're about to beat up a couple of dudes who want to sell an elementary child into prostitution.
Yeah, we're gonna kick the shit out of them.
It's some messed up stuff right now. You guys came in at the best part where we kick their asses. But hi. If you don't know me, my name is Trix. I'm everybody's favorite treasure hunting fae, and I've got Death with me here today. It's Dan Tech! Yes, yep. He's still using it.
I kind of like it.
It's great. Oh my god, cat, don't fucking jump scare me like that. Hi, baby. Hi.
You fit both those bills, asshole.
Dude, she came up behind me and, like, brushed my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Baby.
What, you motherfucker?
Huh?
You gotta screw loose, you skinny runt, because you're begging to get your neck broke.
They're gonna taste baseball bat. Just you wait.
Yeah. Shut your mouth and put up your fists so I can hurry up and beat the shit out of you.
You're right. Daddy don't play.
Yeah.
And Chash, if you have to go and take a break or get a snack or whatever, do what you need to do to take care of yourself.
Hey, gentlemen, ever wonder what a baseball bat tastes like? Do it. Do it, Trix.
Do it!
Here's your ice cream sundae.
Do it. Why are you cowering? Why are you cowering, you little bitch?
Actually, you can inflict fear upon fear or rage upon your enemies in these games.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. Hey, I ain't done with you yet. I still gotta tear you up as badly as you tore up that poor doll.
I'm not done with you. I'm gonna tear you a new asshole.
Have mercy.
No, you don't get mercy. You were gonna send off this elementary kid into prostitution. You don't get mercy.
Yeah. Ah, come on. I was just getting to the fun part.
Daddy!
Hey, you alright?
Dad? Yeah, this is the man who bought me all the dolls, Mommy. I call him Daddy. Oh, so that was you. My daughter talks about you all the time.
You're not disturbed by this?
Yeah, she's cool with it. It's whatever. I don't suppose I could ask your name?
Sure, it's Majima.
Majima-san, you've done so much for us. I don't know how to thank you.
It was nothing, really.
This is a little token of my appreciation. Please accept it.
You got a security wallet. That will protect some of your money from Gorilla Man.
Oh, thank Christ.
Yeah. Appreciate it, lady.
Daddy, I'm sorry.
Huh? What's wrong, scamp?
I told you I'd take good care of the dolls, but please don't be mad at me.
Why would I be mad at you? It ain't your fault. Don't even sweat it.
But...
Listen. Even with his eye coming off and cuts all over, ain't like it's dead.
It's just like you, Majima. Aww.
Its heart's still beating. I can feel it.
Really?
Yeah. Heck, I'm living proof, ain't I? Take a look. One eye's gone, but I'm doing just fine.
Exactly. You're right.
When Bun-chan got messed up, you didn't throw it away, right? You're still clutching it close. And it looks pretty happy about that, if you ask me.
Aww. Really? I'm gonna fix him up and keep him safe then.
Yeah, you do that.
The Shiba ass in the background, though.
Yeah, that's not helping this touching scene.
No, it's not. It's just doggy Bort.
I better get going.
Thank you so much for everything, Majima-san.
Just walks off.
No big deal. Saved a kid's life. Thanks, Daddy.
Daddy. It's got a nice ring to it.
Oh, it's so sweet.
It's a real touching story.
That's a sweet one. That's a cute one. I like that one.
Yeah. Okay,
Oh,
how much longer we were gonna go? It's kind of getting late on my end,
Death,
and I've
we
also
can-
got work tomorrow.
Death, we can get off whatever time you need to get off.
Then it's probably good I stop now,
Okay.
because I really need to go to sleep.
I'm gonna go save.
Okay.
Piece of crap. Fuck you, man. I don't want to talk to you. I want to save my game. Yay, with Lilith. And Death
Oh,
is...
hey, that despawned the enemies.
Oh, that's
We can remember
cool.
that for next time the Gorilla Man comes.
Oh, that's really fucking convenient.
Yeah.
Alright, Death. I need to be released from my prisons.
Okay.
All of my prisons.
All of them. All
the prisons.
3 of them. And now we have the inexplicable floating chicken nuggets.
I got rid of them too, don't worry. I'm just gonna leave the game.
Okay.
And I guess we're gonna have to go find somebody to love.
We're gonna find someone to send love to. Who's it gonna be? We've got Spriggon.
Oh, my...
That's about the only one of the team that I can see. But oh, and Gerg is on.
Oh, okay. Let me...
Oh, he's playing Echoes of Wisdom too.
What at?
The new Zelda game where we actually play as Zelda.
Oh! Oh, the good... I'm just kidding. That one. I know what you meant.
The properly titled one.
Send me name, because I don't think I follow.
Oh, yeah, hold on a second.
I don't think I follow. How did the stream go?
There you go.
Okay, cool. They're gonna be like,
You don't,
who are
you
you
don't follow
people?
Gerg? He's part of our Blood on the Clock Tower stuff.
I don't think I've officially met him yet.
You haven't? Really?
Mm-mm.
It's weird.
No, I'm gonna freak him out. I'm gonna follow him first. And then I'm
Okay.
gonna rate him.
Okay.
I'm gonna bamboozle this man.
Yeah.
That's always fun. I like bamboozling.
Yeah.
Starting a raid. We're just gonna keep it classic tonight. We want to make a good first impression. We don't want to make it weird. So there's
No,
your
make
raid
it weird.
message. Can't make it weird. Oh my god, Death! Look at the hype jar. What the fuck? God, Jesus! It's so big and full.
Make it weird.